How's it going? My name's Jake Thomas.
And I'm Cullen Thomas.
And this is the Crushing Cans podcast show. Tonight, we're drinking EGA IPA from Grains of Wrath. Grains of Wrath is a local IPA out of Camas, Washington, which is literally about 3 miles from where we're at. I'm hoping this is a great beer. I've never tried it before.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I've never even heard of this brewery before, so it's kind of nice to get to know some of the local breweries around here.
Why don't we crush these cans?
Yeah, let's get these things cracked open, huh?
Oops. If I don't fall over. God damn.
You don't need to stand up to crack a beer, man. But yeah, so we both picked her as a round one submission, and it looks like she pulled it off. I think that's my first perfect on the night. Other than that, I have I'm 4-1 now on the night with one perfect pick.
So I am now 4-1.
Yep, 4-1.
The only loss
the only loss I have right now is
this should have been the fourth fight.
The Christian Aguilera defeats Anthony Ivy. So that was the fifth fight.
Okay, so I'm going on my wait. I might be on my fourth perfect pick.
Let's take a look here. So you got you picked Duvalishi Vili by decision. Perfect pick there. Ooh, not a perfect pick there. You picked Avila by knockout, but in round 2, and she got it done in round 1. I actually picked her by knockout as well, but I picked round 3. Tyson Nam, knockout, round 1. Perfect pick there. I thought for sure that Ivy was going to beat Aguilera, and I thought he was going to beat him convincingly.
I thought that that Ivy had fought the stronger caliber of fighters, and that was part of one of my things that helped lead me in my choice for who's going to win that fight.
Yeah, he definitely fought the higher caliber fighters. It looked like he just was a more renowned fighter as well. Vegas obviously thought so because they had him as a huge favorite in that fight.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So let's move on. Tyson Nam. We said we both got a perfect pick on Tyson Nam. Tyson Nam's another local guy, fights out of Portland, trains with Ricky Simone. And we picked him. We both had him picked to win by first round knockout. And
I didn't have him.
We were accurate about that. The other guy that he was fighting, his record on mixed martial arts was like 3-1 or something like that, and all the guys were like no-name guys. So I'm looking at Tyson Nam, who one time beat the Bellator champion while the guy was Bellator champion, and I've seen him come back in a lot of tough fights where he's down, and he's capable of knocking dudes out. He's got true knockout power, and so to me that was a no-brainer pick.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to knock him out. I think I picked him by decision. I thought he'd just work him. Don't know. I think I originally had him by knockout, but I might have switched it just because I'm like, oh, man, Tyson Nam's getting old.
People out, though,
and he's getting old, but he's still got that old man strength, and he does knock people out.
So there was an old interview I was watching. It was Conor McGregor, and he was talking to an Irish boxer. I can't remember which one it was. But in that thing, the Irish boxer was talking about trying to come back to fight Roy Jones. And this was probably 2016, 2017. It was an old interview. He said, the last thing that goes is that power. So you still keep that power. And for me, that was part of it. It had nothing to do with what he said. It made my pick beforehand, but it just justified what I had already thought and was already thinking.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, and then moving on to the next fight that we had here. This was one we both had picked her. This fight recently just finished here as well. As Julia Vila defeated Gina Mazzani. I think I'm saying that right. We both picked her to win by knockout. Jake picked her in the second round. I had her picked in the third round. So we both got that one right. She just ended up doing it in the first round. So
yeah, for me, that was another one that I figured was kind of a no-brainer. Julia Vila is really going to be a challenger. She's tough. She's strong. She's a brute. And for her size, for her to come with that much force and that much power all the time and put that much behind her punches, anybody getting in front of her is in trouble.
Yeah. And then, moving on to the next one, Merab Dvalishvili defeated Gustavo Lopez. Now, this fight was an interesting one. I originally had Merab picked via decision, but when his original opponent backed out, Rob Font recently, he was just supposed to go in, and he backed out like a couple days ago. And I didn't know anything about this other guy that they had to replace him on 2 days notice. Was it maybe 2 days? And so I figured he probably didn't have a camp. Probably had. He might have been in shape and training, but he didn't have a camp. And so my deal here was I know Dvalishvili is going to grind him. I just figured he'd probably grind him out and pound him out in the first round. So I had a first-round TKO for Dvalishvili, but he won decision.
Yeah, I was checking those records, and I was looking at those guys, and I'd studied this fight very well up until the point where the opponent had been changed. Both Rob Font and Merab Dvalishvili, however you say it, had both fought Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone's a local guy from here, and they both fought him, and Merab did a way better job than Rob Font. I thought Rob Font did a pretty good job against Ricky, but in all honesty, I thought that Merab was winning the fight against Ricky until Ricky put
Merab, if that fight went to a decision, Ricky would have lost that fight.
Yeah.
He had that Hail Mary guillotine that he put in there at the end, and it saved his life because we didn't even know if the fight was over, if the ref stopped the fight with the bell, because it went out.
One of the craziest
finishes. His legs as the bell went out. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, and then but you could see that he was out as soon as Ricky let go.
Yeah, because he was still kicking his legs.
Even though his eyes were open, he laid still and his legs kept kicking. Now, I've seen people in training who've been choked out and who've done things where their body twitches. Sometimes an arm might swing around a little bit. Sometimes it's the whole body looking like it's having a seizure. So as soon as I saw that happen, I kind of recognized what was going on. But I do realize, though, if you're not someone who's familiar with that and you see his eyes open and his legs moving, you might think that the guy's still coherent. The guy's still there. It takes a trained eye, and this is one of the reasons that ref in that fight did a good job as far as when he stopped the fight. He recognized the guy was finished. He recognized Merab was out, and he made the right choice from there. Because he could have very well said, fight's over, time ran out, and not recognized that there was a finish that happened there. And that would have been the end. It would have gone to decision, and Merab would have won that.
Yeah, it would have definitely cost Ricky a win. Because Merab definitely was winning that fight. And I know I said definitely probably 3 or 4 times, but I definitely.
Well, he was definitely out grappling.
He was.
So for me, I thought Merab would get the decision because that's what he does. He's a grinder. He grinds people out, and he gets the decision. He probably is a top 5 guy in his weight class. He's just got to get a little bit better with the striking, but he's so physical with that ground game. It's going to be tough for anybody to stop him.
I can see that. So now we're in between fights here. The next fight coming up.
Let's go back to we haven't talked about Maria Agapova yet.
Yeah, we both picked her to win submission round 1, and she did.
And she won submission round 1. So I guess there's really not much more to say about that.
Yeah. We both figured she was going to win.
I want to make sure to remind you guys, go join our group, the Crushing Cans Podcast, on Tapology.com. Make your picks. Join us. We want to make picks. We want to see how you do against us. If you're the person who has the best picks at the end of the night, we're going to announce your name once we finish up the podcast here. Hopefully it's me with the best picks, but maybe we'll get some of you guys out there too.
Yeah. I mean, I did pretty well last week. I went, was it 9 out of 12? I think I only had 3 wrong. I had 4 perfect picks.
I'm going to say that because mine weren't official. I went 0 and 12. I mean, let's be honest. I could tell you that I picked this person, I picked that person, but
yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, you can say what you want. So I'm gonna be a man about it and say, you know what? I screwed up. I didn't put my picks in, so that's my fault. I went 0 and 12 or 0 and whatever the amount of fights were that night.
You know, now that I've had a chance to drink this before this next fight gets started, I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's got an interesting flavor,
weird, almost a fruity flavor.
It does. I was reading it, and it says it has hop flavors and aromas of pine, melon, papaya, and some soft tropical fruit.
That must be what I'm tasting.
But yeah, and it's 6.8% alcohol per volume there, but it's not very hoppy, if that makes sense.
Well, it's got the hop flavor.
It does have the hop flavor, but the IBUs, it's not super bitter. I would probably put this right around a 40 or 50 IBU beer. I can't. They don't have it listed on here. A lot of beers do, and I love when they do because I don't really care to look up some information on it. So when they list their IBUs, because that's kind of. I'm not a fan of very bitter beer, so I do like a stronger beer, but I don't like it very bitter. So I try to avoid a lot of the darker beers because they tend to be really bitter. They tend to have that higher IBU.
You know what?
So when I look at them, I try to look for the IBUs on the bottle, and if it's a high IBU, I just don't even drink it.
I got one for you that we should try. I don't know. You've probably had it. Another one of my favorites, Apocalypse IPA.
Oh, yeah. I've had Apocalypse.
It's kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's a little bit stronger as far as the alcohol goes. But I want to tell you guys, this beer right here, if you're going to buy this beer, be prepared to spend some money. Like, I went up and I grabbed the 6-pack. It said 5 something on it. And I thought that meant for the whole 6-pack. Or actually, it was a 4-pack. It was a 4-pack. And I didn't even realize it was a 4-pack. I asked the lady, because all this coronavirus stuff going on, it's weird, right? So I asked her if I can get a 6-pack. And she goes, we only have a 4-pack, but I can make it a 6-pack if you'd like. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So she takes them, and they have these individual... what do they call those things that hold the cans together? The plastic.
The little, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know
So they have one of those, and she just takes a 4-pack and she pulls them out of the 4-pack and she puts them in there, and then she puts 2 other ones in there, rings it up, and she goes, "With your discount, this is 33 something." I'm like, with my discount. I thought that sticker meant 5 something for the whole thing. It meant 5 something for the individual beer.
That's per bottle, man.
So I got a 6-pack of these. Got a little bit of a discount.
A little spendy, but I mean, it's a local craft brewery, so you can tend to spend a little bit more at the local craft breweries there. They don't have the big business backing them, so they don't have the capital to really charge lower prices on some of the beer there. But,
here's the other thing. We want to make sure we're supporting local.
Oh, absolutely.
I like beer. I like all sorts of beers. Don't care where it came from. But if I get the opportunity to support a local business, I want to do that. And to be honest, this is on par with something that you're going to find anywhere. Yeah,
this is a good beer. I definitely, again, dude, I keep saying definitely a lot tonight. Either way, I'm trying to cut that out of my vocabulary because in school I write a lot. You say
definitely a lot. I say a lot.
Yes. You also say I. So when you talk a lot, you're always like, well, I, me, this. I've noticed that too. But definitely...
I definitely say definitely shit that we do.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about doing a podcast, man. Like, if you're not doing a podcast and you've always thought about doing it, I say just go for it. I mean, we've talked about doing a podcast for how many years?
Years.
I couldn't tell you how many years we've been talking about doing a podcast. If it wasn't for this coronavirus pandemic, we probably wouldn't have still done it. I mean, it kind of gave us the opportunity. We're like, you know what? Let's just buy the gear. Let's just go in and do it. I think if the coronavirus hadn't happened, we wouldn't have done it.
The truth of the matter is we probably should have started without the gear, It just gave us... The thing about it is we realized how much more time we had, and we were going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, we definitely took advantage of it. See, I definitely said definitely again.
Okay, so this one here. What was your pick? Can you pull mine up? I think I picked
we actually picked... No, you didn't. We actually picked the same thing. So check this out.
Did I?
Yep.
So this one was a hard one for me. This one was a back and forth one for me. Both of these guys, I think, need a win right now.
Yeah, so with this fight, we actually both picked the same. We both have Espinoza winning in decision.
It was a hard choice for me. I went back and forth on this one.
I think I did as well. I think I originally picked De La Rosa.
I think that was my original pick too.
I think I had him winning by a knockout in the second round, and I went back and looked at my picks, and I was like, you know what? I really like Espinoza.
So if we weren't, I just thought he was faster, and I thought he was a little bit bigger, and that was the main thing for me. If we weren't in coronavirus time, I would say, and it may be even. Let's be honest, but I feel like the UFC is going to take care of people who are stepping up right now. I feel like either of these guys, if it's not coronavirus time, the loser's getting cut.
It definitely could be one of those situations. The UFC tends to, give you, if you're a lower end guy, 2-3 losses in a row and you're out.
Sometimes even bigger guys, but let's be honest. If you're fighting right now, you're helping the company out.
Yeah, if you're fighting right now, you're probably getting a pass, even if you get a loss. I'd be surprised to see. Well,
there's another guy on here. He just lost like a month ago or a month and a half ago. He fought during the coronavirus time. Gosh, which one is it? I don't know. We'll know when he comes up. Let me look on here real quick.
Is he fighting on this card?
Yeah, he's fighting on this card.
Oh, so he just recently fought already too?
Yeah, Charles Rosa. So Charles Rosa, he just fought and he lost. He fought and he lost, and he's already back on. And I want to say...
But he's an exciting fighter too. The exciting fighters, guys that like to put on a show, they understand this is an entertainment business. So they kind of... If you put on a show for the fans, if you have that style... you tend to get another pass as well.
Well, I mean, he is exciting, and he's going to be a guy that can make a career in the UFC. He might not be a guy that's ever going to make it to a title fight because he can't seem to string together a winning streak. He goes 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, and we're back at that situation where we're going 1-1.
Yeah,
and he's coming off of a loss. He's coming off of a loss. He lost last time.
Yeah,
but who did he lose to? Can you pull that up?
Yeah, we can pull that up.
That one right there, that one was an interesting fight. If I remember right, he lost to a wild man. Gosh.
Charles Rosa, his actual last fight was Bryce Mitchell. Mitchell's good, though.
Bryce Mitchell. See, because here's the thing.
Mitchell's good.
Bryce Mitchell, and remember in that fight, this is the one that he kept trying to go for another one of those, we call them wrestlers guillotines. What do they call them? Twisters.
Yeah,
Twisters. He went for a whole bunch of twisters.
I remember that because we kept talking about, are we going to see the second twister in UFC history right here? Because
he's got it. His second, it would have been
UFC
his second.
though, is what I'm saying.
No, that would have been the third because the first one was an Asian guy.
Yeah, it was the Korean Zombie,
and then he got one in his fight before that. And then this would have been his second one.
Did he get one in the UFC already?
Yeah, so he was looking to get his second one in a row, if I remember right.
I could have sworn that Chan Sung Jung was the only one with a twister. Was it Chan Sung Jung?
Yeah, something like that.
He's a Korean Zombie, right? Chan Sung Jung?
I don't remember who it was, but yeah, so it was this one. Yeah, it was on that one. He submitted him with the, does it not say? Damn,
it just says, it just says a submission attempt there.
Yeah. Let me see. See right there, pulls off. Bryce Mitchell pulls off the second twister.
Okay, yeah, okay. So he did get that. Was not very long ago because that was on the overrun card.
Yeah, that was the coronavirus time.
Yeah,
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so Charles Rosa went out and he lost on that fight, or he lost in that fight, but he's already back.
Yeah,
he's already back. And to be honest, like the way that he was taking punishment, he was getting twisted up, man.
Oh yeah,
90% of fighters probably would have tapped from a twister. But what was cool about that was watching Charles Rosa figure out how to navigate those waters and get out of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good thing for other people to study and look at for how do we fight this off? How do we get out of that? It's such an unusual position to be put into. You have to figure out how you're going to navigate those waters. All right, so who do you think is winning this round?
I mean, it's hard to say because it depends on what kind of judges we have tonight. So
we are in Vegas again.
Yeah, so I mean, I would probably give the round to Espinoza just based off the striking because, yeah, he was being held against the fence, but he was doing more damage while he was being held against the fence while De La Rosa was working for that takedown.
Yeah, we talked about
hammering De La Rosa the whole time.
We talked about these things last week, right? So we talked about with Kenny Florian, and other guys that get taken down when they're working from the bottom. I don't think that a takedown wins you a round if you don't do anything with it. I don't think pressuring somebody against the cage wins you the round unless you do something with it. If I hold a guy against the cage and while I'm holding him there, he lands strike after strike after strike, who really won that round? Yeah. I might have kept you in a corner, but you did damage to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to see if it goes to a decision. We'll see how the judges score it. But, I mean, for me, I definitely give that round to Espinoza.
But I'm not going to lie.
Follow along with us. As you can see, we kind of got a new setup, by the way. Go.
We're going to improve it. We're going to improve it. So, as we get to using it, all right, we're back into the round. As we get to using it, we're going to kind of tweak things and figure out what's working and what's not working. This is kind of like our first run at the new set. And we already
off my couch.
We've already kind of figured out that we got a couple of things that we might need to change and adjust. And so maybe here in the future.
Snap that head kick.
He's just faster, quick, dude. He's so fast. He's lighter on his feet. He pops in and out. Ooh, if that right lands, he's out.
Dude, they barely graze him. But see, look at that jab.
Yeah, so fast. And he's throwing it from the hip, though.
Yeah.
But you know what? What's the difference between a straight line here and a straight line here? Right? The fastest distance between point A and point B is a straight line. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I've had boxing coaches over the years. I've worked with several different ones who've told you not to throw from the hip because it's an arc up. But, I watch guys do it, and that's a straight line for me. If I'm coming boom, that's a straight line. Yeah. That's a straight line from here to there, right? Versus if I'm going boom, that's a straight line from here to there, right? So what's the difference? Maybe a little bit, but I mean, if I'm a good shoulder roller, I'm not a good shoulder roller myself, but if I'm a good shoulder roller,
Do you remember when Michael Jai White was teaching Kimbo how to throw that exact same shot? Where he was.
Oh, there was a video.
Of that. Michael Jai White was teaching Kimbo how to.
Live, you guys.
Yeah,
not in MMA. Not in MMA.
Yeah, Michael Jai White. We could talk. We could do a whole segment on Michael Jai White because, like, I think I mentioned it last week, but I'm a Bruce Lee fan. You're a Bruce Lee fan.
I like Bruce Lee.
We recognize Bruce Lee for what he is, and I think I got it wrong last week. I also said he was a marketing major. He was a philosophy major.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Philosophy is just a bunch of marketing of your own ideas.
Dude, I mean, that's a good way to look at it.
I mean, I'm serious.
But back to Michael Jai White now. So there's a lot of people that were saying that Bruce Lee would beat Michael Jai White. And
no way.
There's no way. You got to think Bruce Lee's smaller. He's probably about your size,
smaller,
to be honest.
He's about 130 pounds.
Yeah, but he was 5'7". So he was thinner framed, too.
He was taller than me.
He's a little bit taller, thinner. And he's
but,
he's 130,
I like beer, so
135 maybe on a good day. Yeah, I'm pushing 180, and I'm gonna like my beer.
I've been bouncing around between like 50 and 55, but I'm trying to get back down to about 45.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael Jai White, he's just a bad dude. But there was a video, if you look it up on YouTube, he was teaching Kimbo Slice how to throw that straight right and because he said, you don't want to come up here because what do a lot of boxers do? They telegraph their punches because when they're getting ready to throw, they throw with their shoulder. So they always kind of snap that shoulder and then go so you can see it. And the video is great because he was just standing there and he's like, put your hand up. He's like, now try to block me. I'm gonna try to hit your hand, right? He's like, you're going to try to stop me or you're trying to move your hand. He had to move his hand back and forth. And he was just standing and he was going like not even half speed, just flicking it out there and nailing it every time. And Kimbo was dumbfounded.
Yeah, well, and that's the art of the punch, though, right? So they tell you when you're trying to throw as hard as you can, you throw slow. Why? Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to put so much in there. You tense your whole body up. Whereas, if you just flick it out, that's what makes a jab so effective. There's different jabs. You can throw a whole body behind a jab. You can just flick it out. And my favorite ones are always just flicking it out because I'm usually using that to hide and set something up. Right? I'm going to snap somebody in the face and then follow it up with something they're not seeing.
Nice leg kick there.
Yeah, that was good. So De La Rosa is pressuring right now. He's keeping Espinoza's back to the fence, but he's not doing much. Espinoza's popping in and out and landing. I think that if De La Rosa wants to play this game, he needs to get a little bit closer and get him on the fence so he can start trying to grapple with him, but not give him the room to move in and out. Because look at that. He's just holding him at just perfect distance to pop in and out. He can go back 1.5 feet, and he can come forward.
And he's circling really well.
He's circling. Well, he's not cutting the cage. De La Rosa's not cutting the cage off, right? Ooh. What do you think so far? So I'm not going to lie. I got a little sidetracked, but from everything I saw, I'm going with Espinoza.
It's a decision, Espinoza.
But 100%. Last time I went that way.
I don't think there it is. Decision, Espinoza.
Hey, that's Rosa a perfect pick.
Yes,
that's another perfect pick. Is that 3 or 4?
I don't remember, but De La Rosa didn't do enough. And then, Rey Mysterio, like I was talking about, he actually killed a guy in the ring. I don't know if you noticed. I knew about that. So he wasn't in the WWE at the time. He was in Mexico. I believe he was in a Lucha Libre promotion, and he threw the guy into the ropes, like he always does to set up a 619. Well, when he did it,
this was while he's still doing a 619.
Yeah, so this was right before the 619. He tripped the guy, threw him into the rope, but the guy landed awkwardly and snapped his neck.
4th perfect pick.
Yeah, so the dude snapped his neck.
Damn.
When he hit the ropes. And Mysterio recognized that something was off when he went to go do the 619. So instead of connecting with the 619, he spun through the ropes and then was calling for help immediately.
Damn.
And I mean, I don't know how he's wrestling now again. I think he took a break after that, but dude, I don't know how I.
Rey Mysterio was my hero.
Dude,
man.
He was so.
Him and Eddie
when you're a little guy and you see these little guys Rey Mysterio is 5'10", 5'8".
I don't know, but if you're gonna tell me he's 5'10", 5'8", he's a little guy, I'm gonna say you're a liar. That's a giant.
Just so you, but I mean, you look
I'm
at
5'4",
but he competed in the heavyweight division. So the heavyweight division, and they're full of guys that are 230, 240, 250, jacked up on roids. So
I want to see where I'm at with everybody else.
But
because I was.
What are we looking at, man? So go ahead and check your picks real quick, because I know that one was a perfect pick for both of us.
Yeah, I got a perfect pick there. I want to see where
total strikes. Look at that. Dude, oh my god.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know on Tapology.com right now, I'm currently ranked 16th of everybody who made their picks.
I mean, where are you at? Where's that at?
Right there.
5 out of 10 correct with 16th as your ranking.
I got 5 out of 10 correct with four perfect picks. One that is not perfect, but two of the three things were perfect, and then one was all wrong. So I've got one wrong, 5 right, 4 of them are perfect, and we still got a few fights to go.
Let's see. Yeah, so I'm 5 out of 10 as well with 2 perfect picks,
and then you should be right over here.
So 264th is what my current ranking is.
I'm 16th right now.
Yeah, so that's pretty good, man.
Hey, that's a good night.
So far, I mean, we still got 5 fights, so let's see how things go.
Well, yeah.
If you look at the highlights here, they're showing Espinoza was just landing some brutal shots, man.
This is what we were talking about
earlier,
though, right? We were talking about against the cage. You know, just because you're pressuring him against the cage, if the dude's landing, they just showed in the highlight reel, you got De La Rosa trying to pressure Espinoza to the cage, and Espinoza's landing punches and elbows and just going off.
That was what we were talking about. Exactly.
Perfect example.
He was pressuring him, had him against cage, but he wasn't landing strikes. He was working so hard for that takedown that he spent a good minute and a half trying to get this takedown where he's just eating shots the whole time. So
all right, so this next fight, is this the Andre Fili fight?
I picked Andre Fili, dude.
I got Andre Fili. So
let me go.
Let me go. Oh,
let's see here. My picks. I've got Andre Fili. I've got him by KO in the first round, bro.
I got him by decision, which probably might not be a good choice.
I think Fili's finishing this fight. I just got this inkling, this feeling that he's finishing. It might not be a KO in the first round, but I think he's going to finish it.
Hey, in this hypersensitive world right now, I just want to say I love his nickname. And I'm going to say this because I watched somebody else's little MMA video earlier today. It was the first time I'd seen it. They posted it on the Underground. And they got to this fight, and then they were talking about how he should change his name.
No, dude.
They're like, no, the worst name in MMA. I was like, are you kidding me?
Back over
this
here.
This is Andre Touchy Feely. We're in MMA. We're in a man's
Touchy Feely. You know, his nickname's Touchy. Touchy Feely. So it's a great nickname. Good play on words. I mean, it's original. It's class. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful nickname.
Hey, they're just trying.
I love it.
They're just trying to be hypersensitive and make sure they get to their woke crowd.
Oh yeah, you can't be touching people. Well, he kind of touches people for a living. So
you gotta change that.
You want him to change his last name while he's at it? Like, you can't have the Feely name, bro. Feely's...
Hey, Mr. Feely, feed me.
That's stupid, man. I can't believe somebody's actually like that. I mean, never mind. I guess I can't believe it. It's 2020 and these people are going crazy.
I wanted to support their podcast because I'm like, I love supporting people who support MMA. And overall, I thought it was a really good show that they put on. I just couldn't stand that part where they were like, oh, change your name, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, why?
It's really what it comes down to.
What's the point of a nickname?
Yeah, it's to get recognition.
To get recognition.
I mean, when people think of you, they'll think of your nickname before they think of your actual real name.
Rick the Horror Story. How perfect. It's a play of words on his name. The Horror Story.
Exactly.
Any person getting ready to fight him, you're not going to forget that nickname.
No.
And
you're going to go to bed and have nightmares because you're about to read a horror story the next day. So
guarantee it. Guarantee it. That's a monster, man. That's a monster. All right, Andre Touchy Feely. The only thing I don't like about that, he has gauges.
Yeah, is he got his ears taped right now?
Yeah, you have to tape them. So they do the same thing in wrestling. They
I hate that.
So, well, I mean, you want somebody
you need to have them taped. But I'm just not a big fan of gauges. I mean, I'm a fan of doing whatever you want. I don't care. Me personally, I don't care for gauges.
I think you have to just, kind of live with your consequences. I'm not a big fan of big gauges. I do like those smaller gauges. I do like those. But I'm not a...
Dude, is Jourdain whooping him?
No, that's Touchy Feely.
Is that Feely?
Landed that. Yeah.
Dude, God dang. Okay, so Feely's about to knock him out then. This might be a round one knockout.
Threw a good kick. And he's throwing
but those are blocked.
Kick. That body kick landed, though, but Touchy Feely went up high on that. See, he's reacting well. You might be right as far as the knockout, though.
I mean, he's landed 2 shots right now that look like they're going to put him down already.
Yeah, Touchy Feely's a great
You can only take
fighter.
so many. See, ooh.
Gosh dang, this guy's coming. Though.
And his chin's up, dude. So when his chin is up when he's throwing, though, that's gonna. I think that might be what cost him right there.
Ugh.
God, the head kick.
It was a little bit off though, as far as the timing.
Yeah, it was blocked.
There was the jab, pause, snap. Right, so if it was just pop, it would have been better. Oh, he
Feely. I think Feely knows that he has the advantage on the feet right now.
Yeah, well, They're both good fighters, and the problem with even having the advantage on the feet in a fight that can go anywhere is, these guys aren't world championship boxers and world championship kickboxers. You're going to make mistakes, and Andre Fili has made mistakes in the past that cost him.
Definitely.
So he could go out there and dominate 4 rounds or 2 rounds. It's not a 5-round fight, but dominate 2 rounds and then maybe just leave that one opening. And with the amount of power that Jourdain's trying to put behind all that stuff, Jourdain could lose 2.5 rounds and land 1 punch.
He was out there sticking his tongue out at that point. That's MMA though. Period though. It only takes 1 punch to put somebody down.
Jourdain's a little more telegraphed. Yeah, you're right. That's striking sports in general.
Yeah. Any striking sport where you're hitting another dude, it only takes 1 punch. Anybody can be knocked out. So if somebody says they can't get knocked out, they're full of shit because anybody can be knocked out.
Was Andre Fili the other person? There was 3 people who missed weight on this card, and I feel like it. No, Andre Fili made it.
So Jessica I missed weight.
Jessica I and Carl Robertson.
Yeah, and then
he missed weight bad. But I think Jessica I cheated.
I did not see anybody else that missed weight. We could look that up. But
I think there was 3. So I think that Jessica I held the thing that they put around her, the hoop they put around her,
to try to miss weight on purpose.
Yeah, well, no, to try to loosen the weight. So right, it's similar. It's similar to DC pushing down on a towel.
Yeah, when DC did it.
Joanne Calderwood called her out online about it. Apparently, 15 minutes beforehand, according to Joanne Calderwood, who has pretty good sources, considering she's been in the UFC a while.
Joanne Calderwood can say anything and you'll believe her, no matter what her sources are.
But why would she go on social media and say that? Why would she call her out loud? Why would she call her out live in front of everybody if it's bullshit? Right? She said, you were 4 pounds over 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
How'd you only miss by 0.25? And apparently, and I don't know this rule because I never had to use a hoop when I was weighing in or anything like that. Apparently, when they're using those hoops, your hands are supposed to be visible, so they know you're not grabbing anything or pushing off of something. Jessica I's hands were hidden. She weighed in 0.25.
Oh, there he goes down. Fili just got dropped.
It's like I said, though. God damn it, I gotta stop talking to you because I.
Oh my god, dude, he just got dropped, but he recovered well. It looks like he's recovered, but he got put on his back. One punch. It was a big looping left, I think.
See, it's like I said, it doesn't have to be technical. It's just got to land one. But here's the problem. Andre Fili had a great ankle lock roll right there. If he knew anything about like leg locks, ankle locks, or anything like that, he'd have been in on that leg.
Dude, Hector Lombard would have got that. Not Hector Lombard. Who was that that ripped up Mike's leg?
Oh, gosh.
Dude, and he didn't let go. That's all he did was
Paul Harris. Husmir Paul Harris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they call him Paul Harris.
Yeah.
Paul Yaris is his name. But for some reason, on Underground, he goes by Paul. Everyone calls him Paul Harris.
Hey, you're going to get lots of shout-outs to the Underground because even though I don't post much, I've been a lurker there since 2004.
I'm more of a lurker. I haven't posted in the Underground in years.
I think I've had an actual account since like 2006, and I think I've only posted like 150 times or something. Yeah. But I'm on there like daily. That's my main source for media.
There's a good takedown, though.
Nice job. He took the back. Dude, he looks like he hurt him when he hit him.
Yeah, he did.
That was weird.
He covered up. He just turtled all of a sudden. Not even trying to defend. He was just turtling.
Now he's starting to work back up.
Well, there goes the round one knockout.
All right, so Andre Fili gets dropped, but he wins. He won the round.
So yeah, it was a punch that dropped him.
Now, if this was boxing scoring, you would call it a what?
I mean, I would call it a draw. I would say a 9-9 round. Yeah, 9-9.
In MMA,
because I think Fili won the round, but he did get dropped. In boxing, you automatically get deducted 1 point when you get dropped. So
yeah. So now, how is that going to play into this? Now, would that be, because we've talked a lot about the judges, and we're going to continue to talk about the judges. Mm-hmm. By the way, Dennis Hallman sent me a phone number to call to actually get trained to do all that stuff.
Oh, did you hit him up, or did he watch the podcast?
No, I hit him up.
You hit him up after that?
I should tell him to watch.
Tell him to watch the podcast.
But we're not like best friends or anything like that.
No, but you know each other.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we're not like super close or anything. But,
no.
Yeah, but so I sent him a message because I was thinking about that after our last time we talked about it, and and I was like, well, because I sent a message to the state about 4 months ago. Trying to
you told us. I think you told us on the first episode.
I don't remember when I
think it was the first episode. But you told the story.
I never heard back from the state, so I was like, all right, after we recorded that podcast, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm just going to message Dennis.
Ooh, yeah, Feely's coming out strong right now.
He started strong last round too.
Yep.
But yeah, I was just like, I'm going to message Dennis. I messaged him. He sent me a message back with the phone number to call and told me to get back a hold of him if I don't get a hold of it, or if that doesn't work, and he'll help me out. So
that's good.
As far as moving into the potential reffing and judging,
you going to pursue that now?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I want to ref MMA more than anything. As far, I would love to judge. I had fun judging.
I do want to judge.
I had fun judging in the past, but here's the thing about it is I'm so critical of the judges not of the judges, but of the refs more than the judges.
The ref has a harder job. I mean, the judges really they control the outcome of a fight when it goes to the scorecard.
They have opinions, right? They have opinions.
But the ref really, his job is harder because he's got to. I mean, you look at Herb Dean. Herb Dean's actually he's probably one of the best refs out right now. But he gets a lot of flack because sometimes there will be a late stopper. Sometimes he stops something too early. But, I mean, when you're in the cage versus watching it on TV, it's so different.
Well, and then here's the other thing about it is he's been around for a while, so he knows what kind of fighters these guys are. So you get a guy who's like Chris Lieben, right?
Well, they talked to him before the fight, too. The Dominic Cruz fight, when Dominic Cruz got stopped, he said, look, man, I even told the ref before the fight, if I get hit or I get dropped, give me a minute to let me recover and get myself
But
up.
Even then, I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about that stuff because it would be like me saying in another sport, like, hey, if I
push you off, this isn't pass interference. Don't call it.
Yeah, don't call it. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I don't care about that. You can talk to the ref and say, hey,
but
fighters
do talk to the refs before the fight.
They could, but please give me more time. Who cares? That doesn't mean that they have to.
Right. Exactly. They don't have to do anything.
They don't have to.
Their job is to look out for the safety of the fighters,
and which is exactly why I want to do it because there have been times when I've watched this stuff and I've been thinking, this needs to be stopped now, or this could have gone longer. Well, the difference between a judge making a decision, and a ref is a ref has the potential to prevent you from taking serious damage, and they could also have the ability to influence a fight that is not over.
Yep.
By that I mean they could stop it for a fake eye poke, for a cup check if it didn't hit or it did land. They could say, no, never mind, that wasn't an eye poke when it was a real eye poke. And that's going to affect the outcome of the match. They could warn a guy 10 times to stop grabbing the cage and not take a point away from him, right? So they have a lot more influence on the fight than the judges do. They can stand up a fight if they feel like it's boring. They can stop a fight when they feel like a fighter's taking too much damage, or they can decide to go on. So, like when I was talking about Herb Dean, he knows these fighters, and he knows a little bit about what they take and what they don't take. So if you get a guy like Chris Lieben, he's going to go out there and he's going to get hit. And not saying he fights anymore, but he's a guy that's going to go out there and fight and fight and fight. Well,
Do you think the refs should at least step in the cage one time? Because Herb Dean did fight in the cage. He stepped into the cage and had a match.
No, and for the same reason that I don't think that a trainer should have necessarily stepped into the
to be a trainer.
I don't think that what makes you a good fighter is going to make you a good anything else. I don't think it's going to make you a good judge. I don't think it's going to make you a good ref. I don't think it's going to make you a good coach.
There's a lot of people that talk about that. They say that refs should at least get in there one time because it's a little bit different when you have that experience as a fighter. Like you might look at situations a little bit different. It might not make you a better referee, but it might make you aware.
But it also might make you more biased, right?
Yeah, it could make you more biased. Be like, oh well, I've been in that situation before. He's fine.
You might,
He's not knocked out. He's just taking a nap.
He might be fine, or I may have developed these relationships with some of these fighters beforehand, right? And if you're doing a regional promotion or something like that, and the judges and the refs are all from that area, and you fight from that area, they bring a guy from out of town. That's always the worry that the judges and refs and all that stuff are going to be on their side already, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're going to tell me that this judge and this ref or whatever may have potentially trained and fought together. Now wait a second. Yeah. How many different...
Well, at that point, that would be on the commission to make sure that doesn't happen because that's a conflict of interest.
But how many available refs do you potentially have, right?
Mm-hmm. So especially for the smaller shows.
Like, I couldn't get a hold of anybody at the state of Washington. Nobody said anything back to me. Yeah. So there's not a ton of refs. There are refs. There's enough to go around, but there's not a ton. Yeah. Now, there's definitely going to be biases. I don't care if anybody says that there's not. You know, there's going to be biases. There's even biases in the announcing in the UFC. You know, Bruce Buffer, you can tell before a fight which ones he likes more and which ones he doesn't. You know, everybody has biases when they have relationships.
Bruce Buffer, I think, is cool to everybody. I don't think there's a single fighter that doesn't like Bruce Buffer.
No, I don't think there's a single fighter that doesn't like him, but I can tell bias when I'm watching him announce cards.
Yeah, he talks to all the fighters beforehand and stuff.
And he tries to be cool about it, and he is cool about it. And
he's a cool dude.
Hey, one of my funniest MMA videos, or not my funniest, one of the funniest MMA videos that I've ever seen was Bruce Buffer practicing.
Bruce. Yo, Bruce. Hey, we'll start calling him Bruce Buffer now.
So when Bruce was...
Bruce Busser.
When Bruce Busser was practicing his announcing... So he's over here doing spins and stuff. Maybe I'll do a twist and a flick this way. And he's practicing all of his tricks and techniques. And I was cracking up laughing because I was like, I never really noticed or thought that he put that much into it.
Dude, but who would have thought that the announcing game was going to get so big? You have Michael Buffer in boxing, dude. And like that, even Bruce Buffer will tell you, you know, when he was watching his brother do it, he's like, dude, I know I have to do this too. And then, you know, they started their company together. But like,
and that's a crazy story for them too.
So much that goes into just announcing a fight. If you think you can do it, go out to one of your regional shows and just try. It's harder than it looks, man. You got to be able to command that crowd and command your voice.
Well, there's a few things about it. I've seen a lot of MMA shows. I've been live to a lot of local shows and pro shows and big shows and small shows.
Been to a lot of SCFF events. They have a pretty good announcer there, though.
Yes. Kevin Keeney's fantastic. Kevin Keeney is amazing. And he's also one of the coaches at one of the best wrestling schools in Oregon, All Phase. They're a fantastic club. They destroy everywhere they go. They're awesome. If kids are a member of All Phase, they're doing it right over there in Oregon.
There you go.
But Kevin Keeney's a great announcer. But here's the thing. I've seen a lot of announcers, some that try to be funny. They try to act like they're comedians. I'm not at a comedy show. I don't care for your little funny things you try to put in there. You know, to me, that's not interesting. You know, they're not a Joe Rogan. They're not any of that stuff where it all just rolls off and it seems a little bit forced sometimes. You also have that guy who's kind of nervous. You also have those people who are out there as announcers that don't know anything about any of the guys fighting. You know, like I had a couple of fights where the announcers are announcing me saying that I'm like 5'8", 170 pounds.
I remember.
And I'm like, what the hell?
I remember when they called you out and they said you were like some crazy weight, and I'm like, what the hell? And
I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'm like, I'm only 5'4".
I'm pretty sure I got this on video where when they did that to you. I'm pretty
was
sure
I going like, what the?
I don't remember how you, but when they did that, I'm like, he's only 5'4".
Oh, and then they announced the wrong record and stuff like that. And it's like, do the research, man.
Yeah. I think that's an important part. Even like for right now, just doing our podcast, when we've got fighters on here that we haven't seen fight, I think it's we've been trying to put in some effort now to do the research. I haven't had as much time as Jake has. But I try to get on there.
Let's be honest, though. You've got your school finals going on, so that's kind of a little bit more important. I don't blame you.
Yeah, he'll message me and he'll be like, hey, did you get this clip cut up yet? I'm like, dude, not yet, because I've been working on my finals. Like, it's finals week, you know? I've got my quizzes that are all during the week, and then I've got these projects that you have to do as well. So that's what I've been mostly working on. But yeah, like we try to do the research. Jake's been on there doing a lot more research on the fighters that we haven't seen too much of.
Well, and to be honest, I've been researching all fighters, even the fighters that I know pretty well, because I might know them from a fan perspective.
Or, maybe I'm trying to get myself bias or something.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just trying to be a little bit more in depth and a little bit more. I'm always going to operate with a bias. I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm not going to have a bias on this show.
Any Northwest fighter, we're going to be biased towards.
Yeah, I mean, well, we made our picks before each fight, right? So we've already got our bias in there. So I don't. I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure that whatever
just got hit twice, 3 times.
Knowledgeable. But he was just dominating the ground game too.
He was. And Philly's winning this round again, but he did get caught with a 1-2-3 right there. This is
round three.
Yeah, this is round 3. He's winning this round as well. He's won the fight. I feel like he's up, at this point, 30-27. I do think Jordan needs a knockout.
I would say,
or a submission. He's got to get a finish.
Yeah, I would say that this is the way that it's looking like it's going to hit. It's looking like a 30-27 to me.
Yeah.
It could change depending on how they judge that first round.
Ooh, Feely just got caught again.
Well, he's getting tagged because he's got no head movement.
No, he's standing flat when he throws, and he might be tired. Obviously, it's the third round,
but his output's still good. It looks like he's trying to put more power. He's probably trying to get that knockout. He's like, he
might be worried about the judges. I mean, and I wouldn't blame him.
We've
seen
he's just trying to be exciting,
dude.
Maybe he's trying to be exciting. Maybe he wants that knockout because let's be honest, he's dropped several people in his life.
Yeah,
it
could be.
He could be looking for that finish, and the bonuses typically come with the finishes, right?
Yeah, I think the last card that we did, the UFC 250, they didn't have any fight of the nights on that one. They just gave out 4 performance bonuses, which is pretty cool.
They're moving towards performance bonuses, but what I'm really
I wish they bring back the old bonuses where they had knockout of the night, fight of the night, and submission of the night.
I like that better.
I personally liked it better because you had guys that could win 2 bonuses. Ricky, when he tapped out, who did he tap out with the arm triangle?
Oh, Ricky Simone? Or not Rick Story. Horror Story. Yeah, with the arm triangle. He got performance of the night.
He got fight of the night.
Yeah, it was fight of the night and submission of the night. And he was, because it was so funny because he was still stuck in the guard.
Yeah, he did it from guard. He did it from guard.
Yeah, he didn't even have. Oh, okay. This is going to be another perfect pick for me.
That's going to be Andre Feely decision right
That's
there.
what I picked, right?
So, I mean, I think you had Feely with a decision. I had Feely with a knockout.
Gosh dang.
And Feely just couldn't get it done, man. Jourdain's got a chin on him apparently because he took some punishment. Jourdain took some shots.
Jourdain was another one that I didn't really think was going to get finished.
What's funny though is before we started this, I told one of my buddies that does another podcast we talked about last week, but I told him I think there's going to be a lot of decisions on this card.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't pick very many decisions.
No, that's I predicted a lot of decisions. Like if you look at mine.
No, that's what's funny though, is because I told him, I'm like, dude, there's going to be a lot of decisions, but I didn't pick very many decisions. I picked a lot of finishes.
Look right here, decision.
Yep. Decision. Hold on, where are we at with your record? See if that. Oh, it hasn't updated.
It hasn't updated yet, but I got to be pretty close to the top.
Well,
10.
I mean, that's a perfect. You might have cracked the top 10 there.
So that's still not updated yet.
You're 16th right now. Let's see where I'm.
It's still early though. It's still early, like. But that's the thing, though. Like you got to research. If you're gonna really make some picks and you're gonna do all this, research it a little bit. Yeah. Look at this. Look, Andre Feely outstruck everything except round 1, and he still won round 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like he landed the better shots. He was the aggressor. We'll see. I mean, at worst, the judges could make it a 29-28 Feely. I feel like, but I mean, I feel like it's a 30-27.
Yeah. No.
Right,
I say 30-27.
Jourdain's got a nice mouse under his.
Well, he knows. Look at him. You can see the difference in the postures.
He knows. Let's see this though. Here is he doesn't know. He seemed surprised when they called it. It's a split decision. Wow.
Andre Touchy Feely.
Feely got the decision, but
how did they go split on that?
So it was 29-28 versus 29-28, but 2 judges had it for Feely and 1 had it for Jourdain. He must have. I don't know where he gave him a second round. I could see maybe the first round where he did.
He gave it to him off that drop.
You think so? In the second round where when he dropped Feely?
It's got to be.
I've seen judges do that. Judges have done that where they'll give a round to somebody based off that drop.
Where would it be from? I mean, why else would it be?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy. But at least the right man got the win. Unlike, who's the most robbed fighter of all time in your opinion? In combat sports?
Manny Pacquiao.
Yep, Manny Pacquiao. How many times has that dude been robbed of decisions? I think
Manny.
Jeff Horn.
Many times.
He whooped Jeff Horn's ass. And Bradley.
Timothy Bradley.
Timothy Bradley.
Yep. He dominated Timothy Bradley too. That was the thing that was shocking.
That's why I don't understand how they did that, because he dominated Timothy Bradley. The second fight was even worse. But he didn't leave any doubt in that one.
Yeah, Teddy Atlas though still thinks that he won though. So Teddy Atlas was his coach, right? So Teddy Atlas still thought that he won after that fight. Was super excited and super proud of him. I don't know. I just don't see any way. I watched that a few different times because I learned from myself that sometimes what I see live is not what really happens. Sometimes my biases play in live. And so when I'm sitting there betting money on a guy like Manny Pacquiao,
but you can kind of tell in boxing. I mean,
yeah, but
really,
your emotions.
There's no other aspect besides strikes landed, essentially.
But they don't post their scores, right? So it's not like if I'm watching a basketball game and I'm like, oh shit, my team's down by 6.
Yeah, you don't know going into the final round.
You don't know.
But I mean, you kind of have a sense when you're watching it when you see one guy dominating
but I did,
another guy.
And that's my problem. I had that sense. I thought Manny Pacquiao dominated that fight.
As did most of the media and everybody on Twitter. You look at all the journalists that covered that fight.
And then you get the judges coming out. So
I think I don't know if there's really many other people outside the judges.
And I'm going to be honest, though. Some of the times I don't like what the judges say, but you know, it goes back to that whole thing. Finish the fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez 1. Everybody in the world saw that first fight for Golovkin, except for... What's her name? Bird?
Well, so
what was that judge's name?
Yeah, I don't remember what her name was.
I don't remember her last name, but she scored it way heavily in favor of Canelo too. Not like she didn't have it a draw. She didn't have it like one round to maybe a 1-2 round.
I thought Triple G was robbed.
118 to
that first one.
Yeah, the first fight.
Gosh, for sure. Yeah. I thought he was robbed so bad in that one, and that was frustrating. Sure. So going into the second round, I had once again picked Triple G.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Canelo fan.
I was gonna say I'm a Canelo fan.
No. I'm a Canelo fan, but I thought based off the first fight with Triple G, I thought he dominated.
Slam,
yeah, that was good. That was third round right there. Or no, that was second round.
Yeah, that was the second round.
I was gonna
say he kept getting these takedowns. They're great,
and that's because this to me right there was the closer round.
Oh, it was definitely round 3 was really close, to be honest. Jourdain landed some nice combos. Like I said, he had that 1-2-3 where he rocked him. Like
he did, but yeah, no, I'm a big Canelo fan. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite fighters out there as far as boxing goes. I love how he's going up in weight. That seems to be the theme right now in boxing. Right now, though, is everybody's going up in weight, and I wish the MMA fighters would take notice of what's going on. Some are trying,
but they don't want to pay him accordingly.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you there's a difference though between the GOAT and everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Pay the GOAT. Like if I'm a top 15 guy at 205 and I want to go up to heavyweight, man, you're fighting on your contract.
Well, yeah, let's see what Gustafsson's getting paid because he's going up,
and he's a top 5 guy. You know,
so it's gonna be interesting though. I'm excited for that.
Oh,
fight,
I'm excited, but here's the thing though. I think that Gustafsson's got the cardio.
He's got the cardio advantage. He doesn't have to cut weight now, so he's going to go in at his natural weight versus an old. How old is
I don't remember how old he is, but
dang, dude.
But then the other trick about it is go to the last Tyson Fury fight, right? He put on weight.
Oh, he put on massive
weight. He put on
weight.
a lot of weight. And him and his dad talked about it.
What was he, like 280 for that fight?
Oh, he was huge.
He was fucking big,
he was huge. But here's what I'm getting
so big.
For some fighters, going up in weight is not a good thing.
No.
Tyson Fury, it wound up being a perfect, but it worked. It was perfect for his game plan of leaning and making himself
he was already
heavy.
Big, and he just wanted to lean on Wilder and wear him out.
Yep,
just beat the shit out of him, and that's what he did.
Deontay Wilder, but made me absolutely not a fan, which frustrated me.
I was never a fan of Wilder.
I was a fan. I was a bigger Tyson Fury fan, but I was a fan of Wilder until Wilder decides to come out and say, "Oh, the suit." My suit that I wore was too heavy. I was like, bro, are you kidding me?
Walking to the ring.
I mean, when I was young and training MMA, like in wrestling and stuff like that's
we
like
train with weights.
Yeah, like we train with weights.
That's how you do it.
We used to take these inner tubes and we'd cut these inner tubes in half and we'd fill them with sand, tape the ends up with duct tape. And we'd carry them on our shoulders and stuff like that. We'd flip them and stuff like that. And now there's these things called Bulgarian sandbags that are everywhere, which are exactly what we were using.
Yeah.
And they're all weight. Everything's weight-based. Everything that we did, we always tried to carry extra weight. Whether it was another person, it might have been a person that we were carrying. It might have been something heavy. It might have been whatever else. But you're going to tell me that you couldn't walk from the back to the ring with 40 or 50 pounds on you, and that's gonna be the deciding factor.
And even then, you've done it how many other times before? Because he always comes out wearing some fancy
something
stuff.
fancy. Yeah.
I don't know how maybe
just,
the stuff he wore before only weighed 10 pounds. I don't know, but he comes out, he tries to put on a show when he comes in. I like boxing ring entrances when you get some of the best ones. When Tyson Fury comes out, he was being carried out like a king, dude. It was great. The Gypsy King. Where are we coming? Oh, we're at the Charles Rosa versus Kevin Aguilar fight. Let me take a look at who Jake picked, because right now I picked Rosa by knockout in round 2, and Rosa has shown some beautiful knockout technique. So let's go take a look here. Okay, so Jake, this is one. So the last fight, Jake and I both had Feely. He picked decision, I picked knockout, and Feely came close a couple times but just didn't get it finished. But in this fight, he's got Aguilar winning a decision, and I've got Rosa versus a knockout in round 2. So I might be able to catch up to him here and get these points. Maybe get a pick or two on him. Let's see. He's got Vettori via decision. I've got Vettori with a knockout. And he has Calvillo with decision, and I have Calvillo with decision. So our fights, the next 2 fights are relatively the same. The finish or the result is a little bit different. But as of this moment here, I mean, I can make up a little bit of ground on him if I get this next pick.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking a little bit about you. So the next fight, we both have the opposite fighters picked.
Ooh, so what am I sitting at, though?
So you're currently sitting at...
Let's refresh that.
Let's see.
I should say 5 perfect picks.
Yeah, so the next fight, because you've got... so you have Aguilar winning the decision. I picked Rosa by knockout.
Man,
it's going to be a close fight.
I'm 11th overall for Tapology.
And we told you almost. Ooh, that was really. You almost cracked the top 10 there, though. We said that you should crack top 10, and I mean it was close, which means the other people probably got a pick on Feely as well with a decision.
Yeah, probably. Well, it's going to go down to those earlier fights. Yeah, the Ivy fight's what's costing me. I'd be top 10 if it wasn't for Ivy.
Yeah, the Ivy fight. But
you'd be significantly higher if it wasn't for that one as well, because our picks outside of that have been pretty close.
Yeah, let me see what I'm at right now. I mean, right now I'm sitting at 277th in the world with 6 out of 10 correct. And we both have 6 out of 10 correct.
6 out of 10. I just have 5 perfects.
You've got more perfect.
That's crazy, though. 5 perfects?
This is what happens when you just pick decision for everybody. They don't get decisions.
Well, no, that's what happens when you actually get the chance to study, right? So it's like taking a good test, right?
For sure.
So if you want to do good on your test, what the fuck do you need to do? You need to study.
I don't study for
So this one right here. So this is going to be an exciting fight. This is one of my favorite fights of the night. So
it's going to go one of 2 ways. And I think either of our picks are the right picks, because I think if Rosa wins, it's going to be by knockout. And if Aguilar wins, I think it's going to be by decision. And that's the way it's going to go, I feel like.
The problem, though, is they both have the cardio. So who's going to be able to control the grappling?
Yeah, I think Aguilar has better grappling, but
that's where I
think Rosa has enough to keep it standing.
You think so?
I think so.
So I figured that Aguilar has the better grappling. I figure Rosa's not bad at grappling at all. He's probably one of the toughest dudes out there.
Exactly.
He's just not technical enough. But he is a monster as far as a fighter.
The unorthodox dudes, the ones that don't have much technicality, but they're just whatever they have, it works.
It does, but he hasn't been able to string back-to-back fights yet.
That is true.
Back-to-back wins yet.
We'll see if he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off a loss right now, so he ain't getting it tonight. But if
the pattern holds,
I just screwed up.
Exactly.
I'm about to drop down to 200.
Yeah, you're going to be right down. So that's what I'm saying. If you lose, you're going to be hanging out with me. And
yeah.
I don't think I'll pass you.
Well, you won't pass me because of my perfects.
Yeah, I'll have more picks. I'll have 7 out of 10. You'll only have 6 out of 10 still. So that could go my favor.
Yep.
I'm hoping, man. We'll see. It's going to be. I think I'm excited for the fight. This was one of the fights on this card that I was more excited for.
Yeah, this is one of the top 3 fights for me.
My favorite fight's coming up next, though.
Oh, the co-main?
Yeah, the co-main.
That's my favorite one too.
I'm not too excited for the main event. I like Jessica. I like Calvillo. We both picked Calvillo by decision.
Yep.
So we're screwed there. If I could change my pick, I would, just so I can try to get an advantage on you. Be like, oh, well, if I lose, I'm going to lose anyway. So if I win, though, maybe I can make up some points here. But
I do like that it's secret so that I couldn't see yours.
Exactly. I said, so that's the one thing about Tapology that I like. We used to play on UFC.com, and we haven't done that in a long time. But
since they took the prizes away, right? We used to be able to win prizes and stuff.
Yeah,
and I saved up so many of my points. You used to get
a lot of points because I remember.
Yeah, I was saving them up because I was saving up. I was just close enough to get a new pair of gloves. Yeah. So right back here, my sister was nice enough to me. Her husband's in the military. He's awesome. They had the chance to meet Benson Henderson.
Oh, I remember that.
And Benson Henderson.
Do you have my picture from that still, I think Heather said.
Last week you told me. I just asked you last week if you had it, and you said you had it. Or no, 2 weeks ago when you came over, you said you had it.
I'm going to have to go look. I'll look. I might have it.
Anyway, so Benson Henderson signed these gloves.
One of the top 555ers of all time.
I don't feel like he truly lost the belt, even though, judges' decisions gave it to other people. Other people gave it to the other person as well, but
you get that proper 12 out too.
Oh yeah, well this is gonna be front and center next time Conor McGregor fights, whether it's boxing or not, and that's all we're drinking.
I think the next time we do that, when Conor he retired, but let's be honest, he's retired 3 times. So
3 times.
So he's gonna fight again.
Well, and
he can't walk away. He loves the game too much.
Here's the other thing: Mayweather wants that second fight.
I know Mayweather. They're taunting it too. Mm-hmm. It's so funny.
But if you retire from the UFC, does that give you the ability to get out of your contract? Is that what Henry Cejudo's running into? Because now Henry Cejudo's talking about coming back for the 45 belt.
So the way the UFC contracts are worked out is they still retain your rights even if you're retired. So if you ever come back, you can't just they do it to prevent people from trying to retire to get out of their contracts. Because otherwise people would be like, oh, I retired, I'm no longer a UFC fighter, so I can go sign with somebody else.
But I mean, I would understand if it was in the same sport. But it would be like if I was to say, "Hey, I'm going to retire from football," or if I was going to be a Michael Jordan, I'm going to retire from basketball and go play baseball.
That's why when Dana White says that they're contractors, they're independent contractors. Dana calls them. They're not really independent contractors. They're employees of the UFC. If they were independent contractors, they would be able to go outside and fight in other organizations. They would be able to cross over into boxing, do other things, but the UFC locks them into that contract that prevents them from doing anything else but the UFC. And they sign them to, I think Dana recently...
to that same extent...
fight contracts for these guys, dude. It's crazy.
But to that same extent, though, when I was a massage therapist, right? So I went through massage therapy school. I finished massage therapy school and did all that stuff. I was a massage therapist. Some places will have you sign a contract that prevents you from working somewhere else during the time that you're working for them, even though you're an independent contractor. And the other thing that they'll do is they'll sometimes, and it's not all the time, it's less and less rare in our area now, but it still happens occasionally. They could potentially make you sign a contract that doesn't allow you to bring your clients with you. So say I'm working at X and X chiropractic, and I quit there and I go join Y and Y chiropractic over here. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to bring my people with me.
You'll see a lot of financial firms that do that too.
Yeah.
Because that's a different issue there, though, because at that point, like,
it's taking money away. It's a money issue.
And now you're taking also their clients with you. So,
but it's a money issue, right? So if I leave the UFC and I go to Bellator, and a bunch of people hop and say, I ain't going to go watch the UFC, I'm going to go watch Bellator. Mm-hmm. You just stole money from them, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a money issue, right? And it comes down to, we could say all the factors that we want, but the bottom line is it's always going to come back down to the money.
Oh, yeah. When you're running a business, the only thing that matters is the money. That's literally what it comes down to.
This ref, he's not a bad ref either. I don't remember what his name is. But
is it the dude, the black guy?
No, the black guy. Not the guy that's always in King of the Cage. He's a good ref too. But this guy, I don't know what his name is. They don't talk about it, but he does a good job.
Yeah. He'll probably end up making it bigger.
He does a really good job. He reminds me of
that's a good
Aguilar drops him with the jab, but that was Rosa off balance.
Yeah, dude. So Aguilar might have the edge here because Rosa's tried twice now with this, and he's tried to throw that body kick twice, and every time he's done it, Aguilar's dropped him with a jab, just a little jab, just popping it out there, and it's knocking him over. This might play into Rosa's psyche though.
Rose is good, and he's just wild enough to get the crazy wins.
Yeah. He that's what I like about him. He's so fun to watch.
He's fun. He's definitely fun. He's just not
Aguilar
technical.
looks like he's way more technical for sure. Poking that out there, dancing around. See, Aguilar's only...
Look at that timing, though.
Yeah.
Rose is just throwing it. Aguilar's timing it. That's
Aguilar's trying to counter for sure.
And when I was watching their fights, because not only am I studying their records, I'm going back and watching like the last 3 and 4 fights, because I don't care what you did 4 years ago. What you did 4 years ago has no impact on where you are now.
Well, it's what you did yesterday. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, your most important things to me are your last 3 or 4 performances. You know, if you've been off for 3 or 4 years, or if you've been off for 2 or 3 years, and you come back and put together one good fight, and then disappear for another year and come back, I don't know where I'm going to be at on that.
Yeah.
You know? But if I can look at you and consistently say, hey, you know, based off of what you've done in the last several fights, this is where my opinion. Ooh, that was good.
Aguilar
and that was weird though, because he switched that stance with the right hand, and then he switched again with his
and he
left.
was like leaning when he threw that.
Yeah, it was like he switched to make his jab a power jab. It looked weird. I don't know.
Yeah, this is interesting though, because Aguilar seems to have the edge.
So far. Still early in the fight, though.
Yeah, it's still early. They're still filling each other out. Ooh.
Rosa's just got to get balanced, though.
He keeps every time he throws a kick, he lifts that leg up, he's getting popped, and it's like the damage isn't there really, but the judges are seeing it.
To me, what it looks like is Rosa's trying to stay light on his feet. I think he's trying to pop in and out.
Oh, for sure.
But the problem that I'm seeing is that it looks like
Aguilar's got the advantage with the timing.
Well, he does have the advantage of the timing, that's for sure. But, you know, being light on your feet has to be a balanced thing too.
Shit.
You know, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna hop on my toes to stay light on my feet." If you're gonna fall over left and right
every time you get touched,
then you need to ground yourself more. Stop hopping so much.
Yeah.
Ground yourself more. Try to get your center of gravity under control, and figure some things out. But right now, he's just.
Ooh, there's a nice little spinning back kick. I like that.
Did that really connect much though?
No, it looked like it hit forearm mostly, but still.
But you know what?
It's something to think about.
And
Rosa's going to think about it, or not Rosa, but Aguilar's going to think about it.
You see that every time he throws that he cannot.
And he did land a really nice leg kick earlier. Rosa did. I do like that. See, if
he switches stance. He can't throw from his regular stance. He might be an actual southpaw, to be honest.
I think he is a southpaw because when he switched to orthodox, he struggled.
He's at orthodox right now, but the problem is whenever I see him actually try to throw power, he switches to southpaw.
Yeah, watch him go back to orthodox or freaking southpaw real quick when he does that, because he'll switch back to southpaw
and then he'll throw power,
and he does a lot better. See, he switched
to southpaw now, and there's his power. See, that's what I was saying right there. Yeah,
but he just got eaten. He just ate a nice.
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe he might need a real striking. I don't know who his striking.
It could be a coach issue, yeah, because he's switching stances way too much, and sometimes that's nice for a guy that knows how to do it really well, but
he doesn't.
He is struggling in the orthodox stance.
You know, he every time, and it's predictable. That was a good body shot, though.
That was.
It's predictable, though. I can see every time when he throws power, and I know
he's still off balance even there.
He's gonna well, that right there, he's an orthodox stance.
Yep.
So as soon as he switches, you know it's gonna be a power shot. He's gonna switch to southpaw, throw a power shot. So see right there, ooh, just like I told you. And then he went for a shot on a leg. Aguilar's landing. Aguilar likes to do this though. Every time people try to get him close, he does that same thing.
Hard with that too.
Dude.
God.
Hey, if you're a fighter and you're in the UFC and you're in this weight class, you should be paying attention to this, because I'm telling you exactly what Rosa's doing. You can see it every single time. And if your coach can't pick up on it...
Let's see if Aguilar's coach picks up on this, because, I mean, clearly that stance switch is what's going to come into play.
It's super obvious. Now he's back orthodox. Every time it's orthodox, it's that high kick or a body kick.
Well, now he's southpaw again.
It's not a...
that's the end of the first round.
Yeah. Or sorry, every time it's orthodox, it's he's not
going to do anything essentially.
No, he's going to set you up, switch southpaw,
and then try to throw hard. Yeah, and I mean that's the end of the round. I think you're good. At the end of that round, I'm going with Aguilar is up 10-9. Like we said, if Aguilar wins, it's going to be decision. And if Rosa wins, he's going to knock him out. That's what I think. But from what I've seen through that first round, I don't know if Rosa's going to be able to, because Aguilar seems to have the better timing. Well, he's countering everything that Rosa throws.
Let's see how these coaches play into it, right?
Choreographed. Yeah,
that's a good way to describe it. You know, this isn't necessarily choreographed, but
yeah, it's not rehearsed, but I mean, it's telegraphed. That's what it is. Telegraphed.
Telegraphed. You can see it coming.
You see it coming.
You can see it coming, and you know, I have a feeling that Aguilar picked up on it, on the same thing that I'm picking up on, same thing that Cullen's picking up on. You can see it from a mile away, and if I'm De La Rosa, I need to figure that out because that's going to be a good fight.
Blades versus Volkov.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with Volkov in that fight. I'll make my pick right now.
Volkov has the cardio. That's who I'm going with too. Blades is fun to watch, but he don't have cardio.
No, he's a good wrestler though. Blades is a good wrestler at heavyweight.
He just doesn't have.
But cardio. I think Volkov is more technically sound all around. I think Volkov can keep it standing, and Volkov will pick him apart on the feet.
Whoa! See. What's crazy is they're putting that live line on there now, the live betting line.
I do. I kind of like it.
I do like that because you know what? I would be willing to jump in late on some of these picks.
Yeah, some of these late bets that they give when you got the odds that are going, you're like, hey, that's interesting. I don't bet on sports at all. I've never bet on sports. But, I'll do, like, fantasy football and stuff.
Every once in a while I will. I just have to cross a river to do it. So
if they get it legal in Washington, I might start again. I'm hoping that they'll legalize online gambling in Washington again.
Well, federally it's been legalized.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Federally it's legalized.
By the way, I bought DraftKings stock around $12.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's now about $40.
Dude, that's a really good. That's a good stock, man.
Less than a month.
You were telling everybody to get into it too.
Dude, I told everybody.
Yeah.
By the way, I got that tip from my buddy.
Rose with a nice suit.
I got that tip from my buddy. Who was it? Was it Shane or did Shane post about it afterwards?
Woldridge?
Yeah, Shane Woldridge. It might have been him. He might have posted about it after I bought it though. But I bought it about $12. But I know he bought it too. He threw a decent little chunk of money on it too, and he's doing well.
I've never really bought stock, and that's the funny thing is like when I look back at all the stock that I was big on Bitcoin back when that was like $1, but I never bought into it, and then it blew up, and I kicked myself.
I made a lot of money.
And I look at a lot of these things that I should have got into, but I'm so scared to invest my money in these unknown things that I just never do it, and then it backfires and they blow up, and I'm just like, dude. I should have invested in that.
You know what? That's the difference. though. You're not a gambler, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not a gambler. I hate going to casinos. I don't hate going to casinos. I like going to the casino. I like playing the games. I like playing blackjack. I like playing games that I can control, and I know the outcome is going to happen.
So blackjack. The problem with me for blackjack is usually the people at the
other
table.
people that sit at the table. That's the problem.
I can't play if I'm sitting next to my brother Skylar because he's the most ridiculous player in the world.
Skylar, I love him to death, but when it comes to certain games, he's so outrageous with what he does.
But he gets so fucking lucky. He gets so lucky. And I'm like sitting here looking at the hands, and I'm like...
So he came home. He came to my house the other day with like $500 in his pocket because he won he was like, oh, me. So when he first came down, he brought his buddy, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
And we talked about him on the last... Yeah. And so he calls me up. Because he's like, hey, I'm coming to your house tonight. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I decided I'm just gonna come up today. I'm like, okay, cool. So finally, he gets into 16. He stayed the night somewhere, and then he said he drove all the way through from Vegas, all the way through into Lincoln City. He says like 18, 19
it's
hours.
about a 17, 18-hour drive.
Just to Lincoln City.
But he did it by himself, so that's a bad drive by himself.
But he came up, and then finally he got to Portland, and he hung out with his buddies, went to the strip club, and his buddy, he said he was hammered by the time he got there.
His buddy lost a lot of money. He don't know where it went. He thinks they either dropped it or he spent it on strippers.
No, he spent it on strippers, 100%.
You don't know.
Because they told me when they got to my house, he spent it on strippers, 100%. So Skylar showed up.
Yeah, but you didn't hear the whole conversation after that.
Skylar showed up, and he at my house, because he brought Jeremy to my house drunk from the strip club. He's like, hey, I'm bringing my buddy with me. He's too drunk to drive home. I'm like, okay, who the fuck does that? But I'm like, what the fuck?
The home's like Lincoln City.
No, or Salem. He was in Salem. Well, his house, but his house was.
So he drove from Salem to here because his buddy was too drunk to drive home.
Apparently, it was really weird.
So he drove an hour and 15, hour and a half, depending on traffic.
I think what happened is he had a job out in Eastern Oregon, so he had to drive out there the next day. And I think that's where he was trying to drive to, was to Eastern Oregon. So but I don't remember. But either way, Skyler brought him over, and then Skyler was like, "Yeah, I won all this money on video poker."
Damn, I haven't paid much attention to round 2. I can't tell you what's going on.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you round 2 either. I'm too invested in the story.
This pisses me off though, because there's only 30 seconds left, and I want to know how I'm doing.
But he brings him over. He's like, "I won all this money on video poker. Check it out, dude. I got like $500, dude. I won all this." I'm like, "Right, how much did you spend?" Though he's like, "Not very much, dude." He's like, "I profited like $500. That's what I'm talking about." And he's like, "Jeremy won even more, but he bought a lot of lap dances." And I'm like, "Oh." And then Skyler's like, "Yeah, he tips really good too." Apparently, I'm like, "Oh
hey,
shit."
The whole time we were out playing disc golf, and the whole time Jeremy was talking about trying to figure out where all his money's at. So
that's where it was, because that very night they came home, they told me they tipped these fucking like Jeremy bought lap dances for him and Skyler, and then Jeremy tips really well from what Skyler said. So
hey, you know what, Jeremy?
They're
just in
pretty
case,
happy.
I might not be a female, but if you're gonna tip me really well, I'll give you a lap dance too.
I think Skyler said they were also getting pissed off at him.
I'm all about that money.
Because Skyler was sitting in the video poker machine, and they kept trying to get him to buy more lap dances. He's like, "No, I'm not spending my money on lap dances."
No.
He's like, "Dude, I'm just trying to play poker."
He just won like 10 G's like 2 months ago.
It's so funny, dude. I don't know how he does it, but he lives in Vegas, man. So, hey.
Yeah, but he doesn't even go out to like the big spots.
I think that's part of why he wins so much.
Oh, looser machines at local spots?
A little bit, maybe. You never know.
You gotta find, dude. That next time I go to Vegas, I'm looking up the loosest machines and taking them with me.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Vegas. I need to get out there. I told Skyler I'll come.
Let's go do it, dude.
Because I've always wanted to go to Vegas just to get the experience.
But you won't fly though, right?
Oh, dude, I just flew.
It's not bad, is it?
It is bad.
No, it's not.
It is bad. Fuck off.
No, I love flying.
Dude, so when we were up in the air, it was not as bad.
Round 3 just started.
Yep, round 3 just started. It's probably 1-1. I don't know. It could be 2-0 Aguilar if at anything.
That last 30 seconds looked to me like Aguilar won, but I didn't see the first. I mean, a little bit. I glanced away.
So, I mean, if the score's anything, it's either 2-0 Aguilar or 1-1
at most
Rosa. Because that's it. But when I flew,
we're not going to make a choice about that. So you flew for the.
We flew
so
wait.
I want to back this up. So my entire life, I was probably the first of my 4
I think you were the first.
I flew back.
You flew to Idaho. Was the first place, right?
No, I flew back, but it wasn't even Idaho. I flew back from Utah. So we I went and I stayed out in
But
Pocatello.
that was when you stayed with our uncle.
Yeah. Well, I didn't stay with uncle. I stayed with their aunt.
Oh, you stayed with Tammy?
Yeah. So I went out there, visited some cousins in Pocatello, Idaho. And then I flew back. And when I flew back, I actually flew out of Salt Lake City. Yep. So we drove to the Great Salt Lake. And then we flew back, or I flew back from there. I was probably in 6th or 7th grade. Something like that.
It couldn't have been too.
Well, it had to have been before 8th grade.
It was before you moved out to Vancouver, for sure.
Yeah, I moved out of the house in 8th grade, so it must have been somewhere between 5th and 7th grade.
Yeah, for sure.
It might have even been 5th grade. I was pretty dang young.
Was Bart with Mom at the time?
No. Bart wasn't with Mom.
So then it would have been. I was in 6th grade when Bart got with Mom.
So it must have been 5th grade.
So I feel like it was after your surgery, dude.
Oh, so after I had my cancer removed?
Yeah, I think it was after your surgery. Like, I want to say that you went out there a little bit after your surgery.
I don't know. I just know that I was having a lot of, like, behavioral issues or whatever, and I was fucking fighting with everybody. I feel like it was later than that because I had the garage. Oh, no. What year?
No, because Bart.
I'll tell you exactly when it was. And this, you guys are going to, I don't want to say.
Are you trying to tell a napalm story?
No, it's not a napalm story.
All right, scratch that then.
So, it was shortly after Britney Spears' CD came out that had the "Hit Me Baby One More Time" on it.
Oh, dude.
Because I bought that CD, and it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks after I bought that CD.
You were probably in 4th grade then at the time.
I don't know.
I want to say 4th grade.
Yeah, so whenever that was.
But you were young, so either way, you were young.
Yeah, I was really young, and that was my first flying experience. I flew home. I got to meet the pilots. I literally got to go up to the front.
My pilots, what the fuck,
bro? Like this is this is how much it's changed since then. Like I literally got taken to the front to meet the pilots. Right?
But you were flying solo.
I was flying solo.
I think they do that for kids that are
I guess
solo and nervous.
Yeah, maybe I've never flown alone. or that was the only time I flew alone as a kid. I sent my kids to Europe alone without parents. So
fuck that.
They
didn't fly with the grandparents. Oh no, they went to visit the grandparents.
No, they went to visit the grandparents. They lived in Amsterdam.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, so we flew out there.
God, I couldn't do it.
And we decided that we were gonna head out there, and or no, they were gonna head out there. We sent them out there alone. But yeah, so I met the pilot on my trip home. I got a badge of wings. Yeah. Right. And these wings were awesome.
Rosa landed a nice.
It made me feel like a pilot because the pilot gave me the wings.
Yeah.
And
Rosa with another nice left.
A whole bunch of peanuts. Ooh, that was a good right, though.
It went right over his head, though.
I think that hit his ear.
I don't know. It looked like it came over the back of the
It looked like it hit his head turned with it. That's what it looked like to me.
We'll see. I'm sure they'll show that one in the highlight. But you can go ahead. The pilot gave you some wings.
Yeah, the pilot gave me some wings, and I just had a great experience.
Oh, is he?
It was one of the most positive experiences.
See, I told you he's going to keep it on his feet, though. He's done a pretty good job keeping it up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. The pilot, or what do they call those ladies? The girls? The stewardess?
I think
that's
what they're called. Like that, yeah.
The flight attendants?
Flight attendants. I think that's it. Flight attendants. I've only flown once. Don't ask me.
Yeah, the flight attendants were great. They brought me food. They brought me drinks. They brought me whatever I wanted. And it was like I was sitting in first class, and you know, I might have been, I don't know, I doubt it though. We didn't have any money growing up, but I just felt good. Maybe they were just taking care of me because I was a little kid. But it just felt like such a good, positive experience that I was never worried about flying after that.
15 seconds left.
So, funny story. Coming up to Cullen's bachelor party, or his wedding, when Cullen's about to get married, there's a song by Alanis Morissette. And Cullen was planning to go fly to his honeymoon, and I sent him Alanis Morissette song.
Planning to go, my wife.
I sent him an Alanis Morissette song. They were talking. Both of them were talking about how he was going to fly the first time. And in that Alanis Morissette song, it's called "Ironic."
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, and the verse says something about how he waited his whole damn life to take that flight, and then as soon as he took the flight, the plane crashed down. And he thought, "Oh, isn't that ironic?"
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
I sent it to Cullen, and he canceled. And he told his wife after that. And you might not even remember that, but I sent that. He was good to go until I sent him that.
I was never good to go.
And then Steph, my wife, bitched at me and complained to me because I fucked up your honeymoon.
You honestly didn't. I was never going to fly. Let's just be real.
Me, I heard all about it.
I was drunk one night. That's mine. Get off.
Where's mine?
Right in front of you, asshole. Fucking. I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Oh, God. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. It's not happening, Jake. You can stop at any time, God damn it. Oh, shit. He's still going. It's not that fucking funny.
I'm trying to
Jesus
stop.
Christ. Oh, man. This guy. Anyway, let's be real. I was never going to fly. I did make my wife a deal that I would fly.
Yeah.
And I chickened out of it. I was drunk one night and I brought her home like Burgerville or some shit. Burgerville, for those people that are not in the Northwest, is probably the greatest fast food burger chain in the world.
I disagree.
Anyway,
I disagree, but I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to that right now.
It's in Wisconsin. It's the best place ever.
I don't know about that. I've never been in Wisconsin. But
it's way better.
Anyway.
Oh! Charles De La Rosa
did they give him a decision? So round 2. Round 3, I can see him winning. But round 2, we didn't pay attention to.
God damn.
Round 3, he won.
Round 3, I would say he won. That's
but
what we were
round 2,
about.
we didn't pay too much attention.
It would decide on round 2.
So this one, the only way I'm going to make up some ground on you here. So I made up a little bit of ground because I got the win on that last fight.
Where are you at?
I'm 7 out of 10 with 2 perfect picks. I have 440 points. I am ranked 164th.
Damn, we're both doing pretty good, though.
I mean, yeah, that's not bad. I mean, he's obviously got better because of the perfect picks, which gives you a lot of points. But right now, I have 7 out of 10. He's 6 out of 10. So when it comes to picking the winners, I have the edge. But
Well, that last fight, though, let's be honest. That last fight,
we didn't pay attention to the second round. That's the one that
I see a 1-1 going up until that point.
I mean, yeah, the third round, I do give it to Rosa. Because from what I watched, Rosa landed the better strikes. He actually finally started coming. Okay, yeah. You have some of those in those tank right now in the living room?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, we'll check those out after the podcast. But coming up here, we have Carl Robertson versus Marvin Vettori. And we both have Vettori.
Yeah. So he lost a split decision loss to current champion.
You have him as a decision, right?
I have him as a decision.
So I've got Vettori winning knockout, round 1. Let's go, baby. Give me a knockout, man.
Have you looked at his record?
Yes, I have. But everybody's due for a knockout.
He doesn't knock people out.
He's due for it.
But
you told me Carl Robinson struggled weighing in. So I'm thinking that he's going to be prone to the knockout.
That's a good point. So Carl Robinson.
Let's back up. Hold on. I did have Vettori decision until you told me about Robinson struggling. I went in there
times in a row.
And I switched it because I was like, you know what? If he's struggling with the weigh-in, we've had this conversation about what weight cuts do and the struggling with the weigh-in does. He's going to be prone to a knockout. So it might not take much to knock him out.
But the problem with Mr. Vettori here is he's a brawler.
He's a brawler.
And he's not technical, but he's a guy that's going to push you to the limit.
But he does have power.
He lost to current champion Israel Adesanya by split decision.
Yeah, and not many people lose to Adesanya by decision.
It was literally
let alone split decision.
Strictly because of his grit and because of his tenacity.
And he can take but he's not getting knocked out.
Oh, he can take a punch. That's where that grit comes in, right?
Yeah, he's not getting knocked out.
So, I mean, anybody can get knocked out.
We did say that anybody can get knocked out, but
it's going to be hard to knock him out. You got to be a good striker.
Carl
Robertson. Here's where my problem is with Mr. Carl Robertson. If you don't win this fight tonight, Mr. Carl Robertson, you should be. He
might get cut.
You've
that's
missed
2 attempts now, 2 fights in a row.
It's not even 2 fights in a row. It's 2 times for the same fight.
Yeah, the same fight. I mean, scheduled. So
remember. So I don't know if you remember this, but Marvin and Carl were supposed to fight on a previous card, and then Carl missed weight. Marvin accepted the fight, and then in the morning of the day of the fight, Marvin finds out that Carl pulled out.
Yeah.
Carl pulled out. Marvin ran into him in a hotel and wanted to fucking tear his head off.
Yeah, they had that. They actually showed some of that footage before this fight.
Yeah. Did they show it on here when I was in the bathroom?
No, they showed it before the main card even started when they were doing the kind of countdown to the main card.
Oh, yeah, we kind of saw that. No, that's right. We saw that. We saw that a little bit. So, but that was the whole drama, right? So Carl backed out. Carl's showing fear. So to me, it shows to me that he's mentally weak. He's not physically tough. He's not mentally tough enough to make the weight. He's not mentally tough enough to do it again when they have a second chance. And now he's going against a monster who doesn't have really, I would say, the ability to finish great because he's not super technical.
Yeah.
But a guy that's going to come beat the fuck out of you. This is a good stand-up fight so far. Neither of them are
kind of. They seem timid to really throw in. No. They're still feeling it. It's the first round. I mean,
that was a hook kick.
It's the first round.
That was a wheel kick.
Okay, we got a little bit of grappling going on here. He's got a leg, and this is interesting.
Yeah, but Carl Robertson cheated though. He failed by like 5 pounds to miss weight.
Was it that much?
Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5.
But dude, he's getting taken down here. There it is. Ooh, cool. Vittori's going for
that's a submission.
He's got it.
Oh, what? He jumped up on the cage.
That was crazy. I don't think I've seen anybody push off the cage like he had his feet up on the top.
All the way over the top, man. He almost went over the top.
Yeah, but he was able to reverse position.
The thing
but Vittori's got it again. He got the takedown again. What the hell?
He keeps control of that leg.
Dude. Oh, come on. Finish it right here. Come on.
There's no way that's finished.
Elbows.
Landing.
He's hitting him.
Nothing's landing.
But he's turtling, though.
But Robertson's got to move. It's going to get stopped.
He's going to get stopped because he's turtled.
It's crazy because none of those are good.
And the ref's not even... Where's the ref? He's not even in there.
Well, the ref's probably seeing that they're not landing. They're not
there he is.
Punches.
Okay. He's going to choke him out. Oh. Come on, don't choke him out. Just keep punching, damn it.
No, keep going.
I got 1 minute. Punch him.
I said decision. Go.
Punch him. He's turtled.
Jesus Christ.
He's just turtling.
You need to cut this guy. Cut Robertson. Robertson failed weight twice. He's not fighting.
He's not even defending. He's just turtling.
And he's not even getting hit with hard punches.
No, and he's going to get choked out here. That's it deep.
Robertson
he's going. He tapped. He tapped him. He tapped.
Cut him.
Back
Carl Robertson. Sorry.
That hurts my ears.
Carl Robertson, you need to be cut.
Hey,
you miss weight against the same guy twice when you get finished. Cut him.
I did not think Vettori was going to win via submission. I did not think he was going to happen via submission. I knew he was going to finish him in the first round, so I did get round 1.
But what happened?
I did get Vettori.
But let's be honest. What happened when you changed your pick for Jessica I? Why'd you change it?
Because Jessica I missed weight badly.
He missed weight badly.
Exactly.
Jessica I missed weight by 0.25.
We feel it's badly. Remember?
Yes.
Remember? Go back to your story.
So, but let's go. Let's go official.
JoJo? Or not JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo.
Was it JoJo that called her out?
Yeah.
So
official weight, she missed it by 0.25.
But I mean, she was struggling. I watched that video, dude, and that was one of those scary things where
so
the
it changed
looked really bad, and that changed it for me.
Knowing what happened,
because I did have Jessica I winning via knockout, but I switched to Calvillo via decision.
Well, so knowing what happened here and how Carl Robinson missed weight. We probably should have changed our decision to reflect that, like you did with.
That's what I did with this
Jessica.
one. That's why I switched it to knockout on this one. Because remember, I did have.
Oh, you did.
I had Vettori.
Yeah, and we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. I had Vettori via decision, and I switched it to knockout.
Or no, you said you had. I thought you said you had.
No, I had Vettori.
You had Vettori decision. Yeah, that's right. You had Vettori decision.
And I switched it to knockout after you texted me and said, "Hey, Robertson's struggling
again."
Wait, and then all of a sudden I'm like, dude. So I went and looked at it. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. And so I did. I changed it to Vettori by knockout because I was like, he's going to be prone to a knockout with that much struggle and weight loss. I don't think Calvillo's going to, with a lot of the women fights, you don't see a lot of knockout in women fights, especially at, what are they at, 125?
Well, they're at 25.
Jessica I's at 25?
Yeah.
Right? So you don't see a lot of knockouts at that weight, especially in the women. And so
not at the elite level.
So I was like, you know what? Calvillo's going to win this one by decision. There was a thing though over the last couple of years where the people that have missed weight have went on like this weird record where they had like 10-1 where everybody that missed weight won. But I mean, they weren't struggling with the weight cut.
No, and that's true. But it's also the same issue that they ran into with what was it? It wasn't the guys that were missing weight. It was the nut kicks, right? So it was so bad to the point where Dana White himself comes out and says, you guys take as much time as you can because
you get a full 5 minutes.
Statistically, the guys who get hit in the nuts don't come back to win the fight. Nope. And it's like probably like I don't know what the official statistic is, but it's so much that the UFC has to recognize the fact that hey, a nut kick could potentially alter the impact of the fight.
Is he Italian? Is that what that flag is?
That looks like an Italian.
The name sounds Italian, but
I
don't know if he's actually Italian. Let's be honest.
I don't know. Let's be honest.
But anyway, but with people that miss weight, there was this crazy. They were winning a lot of fights.
Yeah,
like a crazy astronomical number over the last 2 years.
But does it push you in position to win a title fight?
But my thing is with a lot of them, how many of them actually struggled to make weight? Because a lot of them were like, dude, it's not a title fight. I'm not going to try. I'm not even going to try. So they just came in like 5 pounds overweight.
Well, here's where I'm going to tell you.
And that's the crazy thing.
Here's the thing.
Because when you try, you're pushing your body beyond its limits and you're actually trying to make weight. And I do have a lot of respect for those people in the fight game.
What's 20?
But you're costing yourself.
Okay, but what's 20% of, let's assume the lowest is that you can make is $10,000, okay? We're going to assume because that's what the UFC.
$2,000.
That was the UFC a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So you miss weight, you give.
I think they're still at 10,000 men, aren't they?
I don't know. I recently, I don't know. It's been more,
even way. Their minimum
around,
is still
it's
the
been
highest
more
in the
around
fight
12.
game.
It's been more around 12.
Closer
and 16.
to 12. Did they up it to 12?
12 and 16. I don't know if they officially did, but it's been more around 12 and 16. I mean, we'll see. We can
even
go back
then,
and look.
that if we get into that, that's a whole nother discussion. 12 is still not a lot when you cut off your trainer, your manager, and all these other things.
No. But my point is. So you go in there and you say, okay, I'm going to make, if I decide that I'm going to make weight, I'm going to make $10,000 and I'm going to give up 20%.
They also have their win bonus.
Yes, that's where I'm getting at. So I'm going to make weight and I'm going to lose the fight because I'm in terrible shape. And I'm going to have to give up 20% of my purse. So I'm going to make $8,000 on that fight before I give it up. Whereas if I decide that I'm going to miss weight and I'm going to get double the purse, because I'm going to win, because I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to get $20,000 and end up giving up $4,000. I get $16,000. And then what? The UFC says if I miss weight this time, then the next time, then I have to move up?
Yeah.
Or they say, hey,
they've done that a couple times. Kelvin Gastelum missed weight a lot at 170, and he moved up to 180. And he's looked.
Jessica, I just missed weight again.
He's looked like a monster at 185, though.
Carl Robertson missed weight again. You know, 2 of the guys that missed weight tonight have missed weight again.
And he got finished, though.
He did.
That reminds me, you know, this brings up Anthony Johnson.
Ooh,
that dude was a natural light heavyweight.
Yeah,
like he would walk around 220, 230 easy.
Mm-hmm.
But he would cut 50, 60 pounds down to 170. Dude, it was disgusting. And he was knocking out these dudes.
But he also
missed late. Yeah, he missed weight a lot.
Mm-hmm. And he was never in top 5.
And it ended up
his
costing him
cardio
because he would lose. Yeah,
his chin was weak.
His chin, yeah, he was so sapped. But then you see him, you're like, this guy. He fought Andre Arlovsky at heavyweight and beat him. A heavyweight, Andre Arlovsky.
And it's hard to say it was an old Andre Arlovsky because
he came back.
Old. He was in his 30s.
He was early 30s.
But he came back and he had a resurgence in his career after that fight.
Yeah, after that fight, he actually went on what would have been a title run.
Potentially.
I mean, he won like 4 or 5 in a row in the UFC at heavyweight division.
No, I agree.
And it was crazy. So, dude, Anthony Johnson's been talking about making a comeback too at heavyweight.
Well, the hard part that we have to think about is why.
He's jacked, dude. Have you seen pictures of him? He looks like he's 300 pounds.
Well, you know, he
looks like he's 300 pounds of like roids. That's what he looks like right now.
I don't know, man. That guy's always been naturally a big dude trying to be too small. Yeah. I feel like that's probably the type of guy that was
for sure. He's definitely been tried to be too small.
Like people have been telling him his whole life he's too big, so he tried to be as small as he can. That's what I feel like. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, wait a second. I'm going to embrace what makes me great. I'm going to be a big, bad motherfucker.
But I think Jake's got the win on this one because we both have Calvillo versus via decision, not versus. So we both picked Calvillo via decision.
I don't think I'm going to break into the top 10 tonight or the top 20 tonight because I feel like this is a pretty...
Yeah, I'm 8 out of 10 correct, and I'm up to 109th in the world, so that's not too bad.
I'm at 41st right now in the world.
So you're going backwards while I'm going forward, so that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, really,
you're still
wasn't a loss.
You're still gonna win between me and you because I can't win. We both have the same pick for this one, so it's Jake's got the win on the night for this one.
Yep.
But I mean if either way, I'm looking at almost 9 out of 10 picks win.
That's a great night.
9 out of 10.
Honest. 9 out of 10. If I was betting right now,
and they did have one fight canceled because there was 11, right?
No, they just changed the fight.
Or no. It just got changed.
Yeah, that was on the Merib Delavalle versus Rob Font.
I think there's another one that ended up actually getting canceled, though. Because I feel like there was 11 when I first made my picks.
I don't think so because they only went to the prelims. They never had an early prelim. Like usually like 13, 12, and 11 will be early prelim. And then they'll go up to prelims will be all the way up through like 6 or 5 depending on the card.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna look this up real quick just to take a look because I feel like there was 11 fights.
I don't know. I just feel like. I mean, you could look at UFC
Fight Night.
So what I'm interested in this fight, the thing that's going to make this fight interesting is this the first time we're seeing Calvillo with the new camp. So she just left Alpha Male. Remember, she was at Alpha Male.
Yeah, I didn't know she left Alpha Male.
Yeah, she's at AKA now.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
And you would think, with Alpha Male having a lot of lighter weight guys, that this would be the perfect spot for her. I'm not quite sure what caused the change, and I don't really want to be the person to jump into speculation. But, AKA is another top-level gym. So leaving Alpha Male to go to AKA may not be really a bad idea. The only hindrance there is she's a wrestler, and the wrestling came...
Is Minner the guy that was supposed to fight?
Oh, did that fight not happen?
Yeah, is he the... So he did...
Minor,
yeah.
Or I don't know how they say it.
Derek Minor. I think it's Derek Minor.
Who was he fighting again?
That's what I was asking. Was he supposed to fight Dvalishvili? Or... Was that somebody else? I feel like there's somebody else, but I think the Derek Minor fight got...
Dvalishvili was supposed to fight Rob Font.
Oh, that's right. He's supposed to...
Minor.
So
Minor was the one that... Minor was another one that I was interested in.
So I was right, because Minor's fight got canceled. He pulled out of the fight, and it got canceled.
He pulled out?
Yeah, he actually has this... He has this post... He says cut him. He made a long post on Instagram that he won't be fighting.
Cut him. I'm not a fan of that.
He said, long story short, the weight cut was going super smooth, everything on the point. Came back to nap before I hit the last 5 pounds. Woke up after 2 hours, started throwing up, and didn't stop for 6 to 7 hours. He said he's still throwing up as of this morning.
Cut him.
Put it slow.
Liar.
So the UFC Performance Institute nutrition and staff tried everything to get my stomach under control before they had to make the call to start rehydrating. Shout out to them, and they're super knowledgeable and professional. I want to apologize to my opponent, Jordan Griffin. Okay, so he's supposed to...
That's who he's fighting. I had Griffin winning that
I had Griffin winning that fight.
Because, Minor, whatever you want to call him.
I think it's Minor.
He's a...
the way it's spelled, it would be Minor in American English. But
he's a tough guy that likes to attack for submissions. And he likes to try to go for stuff. He's a brawler. He's not super technical. He's very exciting and fun to watch. He was another one that I was excited to watch. Well, I can't believe it's actually got scrapped.
Did somebody else back out of that fight against Griffin before Minor took the fight? Because Minor says here in the same post, he said, "Thanks to the UFC for giving me another opportunity. We will get back to work and be ready for the next one. Sorry, my body couldn't make this happen. Thanks to my training partners, corners, and coaches and managers for making sure everything was on point in less than 2 weeks."
I mean, most of these people had... You have to remember, last week is when this card officially got approved.
That is true. True.
Most of these people on this card had 2.5 to 3 weeks to get ready. Mm-hmm. Jessica I herself complained that, or said she's proud of herself for making weight because she had 2.5 weeks to make weight, or for only missing by 0.25.
I was gonna say she didn't make weight, so
yeah, she was like, "I'm proud of myself for only missing by 0.25 because I had 2.5 weeks." I'm going to tell you what, man. I used to cut 30 pounds 2 to 3 times a week to make weight for wrestling. You have 2.5 weeks to make weight. You fucking make weight. Or move up. If you can't safely make weight in 2.5 weeks, you need to move up. That's pathetic.
I think that's it too. The word right there, safely. If you can't safely make weight. Because a lot of fighters can't safely make that weight. Whatever the weight is, there's been cutting weight issues, dude. We've seen it where fighters struggle cutting.
Okay, well here's the thing. When Ronda Rousey was a coach, she
on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, on Ultimate Fighter versus Miesha Tate.
Yep.
Right, she was a coach. She had a fighter who was struggling to make weight, and she was like, "I'm going to make weight tomorrow."
You know, it's crazy.
And do you remember she made weight? And what's even more crazy about that is she won a competition against Miesha Tate. They had to climb. They had to climb, right? They had to climb. So it was like
it's a mental thing.
No, but it is a mental thing. But here's the thing. So she goes out there. Ronda Rousey cuts the weight, makes the weight, and then wins the coach's challenge, which is an entirely climbing challenge, right? Yeah. So using the entire body. So not only did Ronda Rousey cut the weight and make the weight, she still fucking performed at the top level that she could, beating somebody who didn't even cut weight. Yeah. And then you got all these guys out here, and all these girls out here, and all these people out here complaining that, "Oh, I can't make the weight. I can't make the weight." Then move up. Yeah. If you can't do it in 2.5 weeks, move up. I'd do it 2 to 3 times a week. I would cut 20 to 30 pounds. If you don't believe me, ask anybody on my team. Move up if you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to professionalism, to be honest. If you're not doing your job to the best of your abilities, if you're struggling, you need to make a change, obviously.
Yeah.
And we've seen it with fighters. Fighters will struggle to make weight, and they have to move up. I mean, Michael Chiesa used to be a 155er.
Yeah.
Struggled to make that weight. He made the weight, but he struggled to make the weight. And he moved up to 170, and ever since he has looked phenomenal.
Oh, he's
looked so much better at 170. He's the
guy out of Spokane, Washington.
So much better at 170 than he ever did at 155.
Yeah, I would agree. He's looking great, And when I see
Cowboy looked really good at 170. I mean, he actually was in title contention at one point at 170
and then
pounds.
He ran into Conor.
Yeah. He ran into some other issues before that, but yeah.
He was on a win coming into the...
No, who did he fought? Was it... It was... Not Jorge. Was it Jorge? No. Did he fight Masvidal? Did Cowboy fight Masvidal?
No, that was Diaz who fought Masvidal.
No, who did Cowboy fight before that? Because Cowboy had lost a couple fights at 170. He was ranked like number 2, number 3 at 170 pounds. And then he lost to somebody.
Well, the problem is
but either way, he looked good at 170 pounds.
Yeah, the problem for Cowboy is when you start putting the pressure on him, you start putting the cameras on him, he doesn't like it. Which is weird because you would think, considering the fact that he's been in the spotlight for longer than most of these guys. right?
I don't know if it's a spotlight that gets him, but it's really weird. Like in title fights, he falters every time.
It's the spotlight. It's the pressure.
It
has to be the pressure. But you would think that at some point...
Cowboy's on a 4-fight losing streak right now. So it's Justin Gaethje. He lost to Tony Ferguson and then Justin Gaethje.
Okay. So
that's right, because he went back down.
He lost to probably
the top 3 guys at 100.
Two guys that could potentially be on a pound-for-pound list right now in Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson. Both those guys could potentially put themselves in a top 10 pound-for-pound list right now.
Yeah, so it was Darren Till he ended up losing to that took out his title streak. He was on a streak before that.
Darren Till, man.
But Darren Till's a big dude. He's a 185er right now.
Darren Till's a guy that should be probably up 205.
He should be, probably. He's a big fucking dude.
He's a guy who needs to learn from Anthony Johnson.
But Darren Till knocked him out. Then he beat Yancy Medeiros. Then he lost to Leon Edwards via decision.
Edwards. Here's a guy who's
great 170. Guy could be a title contender.
That guy, he could be a title contender, but he always, for some reason...
Then you look at who he beat. He beat Mike Perry and Alexander Hernandez at 170 pounds, too.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything about Mike Perry because he's
Perry's overrated. Way overrated. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's terrible. That guy's not a top 50.
But I was super happy that he tapped him out because I loved it.
Mike Perry's just a great punching dummy, to be honest.
But in that first round versus Hernandez, dude, I thought Hernandez was going to knock out Cowboy. Cowboy looked old and slow, and then all of a sudden, Cowboy looked like Cowboy again and just put a beat down on him.
Cowboy needs to hang it up. I don't want to see him fight anymore. To be honest, I would potentially tune in. Look at this. Calvillo looks just as big.
Yes, she does.
Just as big.
But you look at that. I mean, his last 4 fights have been fucking wars, dude. The names. You look at that. So,
but he's not going to win a title.
Tony Ferguson at 155, Justin Gaethje at 155.
Yep.
Conor McGregor at 155. Like, dude, that's murder row.
That's all.
And then Anthony Pettis at 170.
That's all 3 potential. All 4 of those are potential world champions,
and they're all going to be Hall of Famers.
Interim champions.
Every single one of them
outside of Gaethje, who should be an interim champion.
He is an interim champion.
Did they give him that after?
Yeah, he won the interim champion versus Tony Ferguson.
Oh, I didn't know that they actually made an interim. championship.
No, they did, and Gaethje actually took the belt and threw it and said, "I don't want."
Oh, that's right. I remember that. We watched that one together.
Yeah. Gaethje's like, dude, I don't give a shit about the interim title.
All 4 of those guys are world championship level fighters, and those are the guys that Cowboy lost to. Here's the problem with that, though. Cowboy, I don't want to see him in any more wars. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on.
I still like him in his fight. I still like watching him.
No,
I'll tune into every single one of his fights.
If he chooses to fight, it's on him, and I'll tune in. But for his family, for his life, I just wish he
does have a little kid now too.
I wish he wouldn't. He's got enough going on. He could transition into coaching and just party.
I think he's got a fight coming up soon. I think I saw an announcement with him.
I don't know, but he could just party and he could just do what he loves to do and just coach.
Yeah. My thing with Cowboy is I think what really cost him is he is a company man to a fault. Oh,
that's for sure.
Because he will take any fight.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that he's a company man, but he's a fucking fighter.
Yeah, it might not be a company man, but he worked out for the company. We'll say that. And
the company was lucky to find a guy that didn't give a fuck about the fight.
He doesn't give a fuck, and he fought anybody at any time, anywhere, any place. He doesn't care. He loves the fight game.
You don't turn it down.
And I think that might have been what cost him a lot because at one point in time, he was at 8-9 wins in a row. But he was taking fights almost every month, it seemed like, dude. Like, the dude fought 5 or 6 times in a year.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the UFC does that at any weight class.
Nope.
It's crazy.
So I'm seeing a little bit of a speed advantage for Calvillo right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ai's not out of it. She just seems a little bit slower.
She caught that leg kick.
Nobody's really looking like they're overly dominant. It's a jab fest right now with a couple of leg
kicks. Good one, too.
A couple leg kicks and a couple of rights being thrown, but it's mostly jabs.
That right, if that would have connected, dude.
Both of them look sloppy, though, to be honest. See, look, she's lifting her back foot up. Her watch when she throws. When Calvillo's throwing that right, she's lifting that back foot up every time. See that?
She just got hit hard, though.
Calvillo's lifting that back foot up, so she's not putting any power into it. All that power's on her left leg when she throws. Mm-hmm. Every time she throws that right, that back foot's coming up.
Yeah.
She tried to switch stances there. Don't worry about the switching stances. You know, we talked about this earlier when you're trying to worry about switching stances and stuff like that and moving around to try to take that power and stuff. It just pulls it away from you a little bit.
Well, they're not even. They're doing it for deception. They're trying to hide their shit, but it's not really working too well.
Ground yourself. Well, I mean, what good is the punch if you hide it and it doesn't land because it's off by 6-7 inches?
And it throws you completely off balance when you throw.
You're out of balance, then you have to reset again. You know, what good is it?
But how well did I recover from that weight cut?
Well, that's the question, right? So Calvillo's just got to worry about pushing it into deep waters and try to make I suffer for that weight class.
Calvillo landed a good punch right before that head kick that got caught. Though.
Well, that head kick landed too.
It did land a little bit.
I ate it and like it was nothing. She ate it like some cereal in the morning, and then she just kept
some
going.
Cereal in the morning.
Yeah, you like that shit?
Hell funny.
Yeah, she just kept going though.
See what they got going on.
Ate her like some cereal in the morning. What we got for beers left? Let's get another one going.
You need another one? Mm-hmm. We got 2 more. Well, you got some big boys in there too.
I got some homebrew in there too.
White Claw episode?
No.
I'm kidding.
You fucker.
I don't give a fuck.
Those are my wives.
That's just hella funny, dude. Fucking you basic ass white bitch with your White Claws.
Yeah, damn right.
Hell yeah. Hell right.
Or as your hat would say.
That's what I'm saying. Hell right. Now we got this, man. Hey, this has actually not been a bad fight so far, to be honest.
I mean,
the girls are throwing. It might be sloppy, but they're throwing. They're engaging. Nobody's kind of backing down. Really, they're going at each other.
I don't know who wins the round.
It's a draw for me. I mean, nobody's got an edge.
Nobody has an edge.
If we're talking about really who's pushing the pace or who's standing their ground, I mean, Eyes controlled the center of the cage. Eyes controlling
the center, but Calvillo seems to be pressing a little bit more.
Exactly. Calvillo's pressing, but Eyes controlling. So
I feel
what
like
do you score? Both there's criteria. Volume's the same, I feel like. It's going to be close.
Okay,
when they look at the total strikes here coming out of this
round. Let's talk about it. We're in a commercial right here. 10-9 must system. Okay?
You can do a 10-10 and a 10-9 must, let's be honest.
This was a big problem for me early on. Why are we calling it a
10-9 must when you can have a 10-10?
If you're going to add a 10-10.
Right.
So, if I'm going to look at a fight where I'm going to say somewhere is going to be a 10-10, it's probably around similar to this. I don't feel like either of them really landed a significant enough strike to change the impact of the fight.
No, nobody really did anything big in that first round. That first round, they were throwing, but it wasn't like nobody was throwing with heat. Nobody was throwing to finish. Nobody was throwing to connect with anything big.
It was like they were both trying to.
It was like a feel-out round, but they were feeling out while engaging. It was really
they
weird.
Were feeling out, but it was like they were both trying to throw from what they thought was their safety range, right?
Yeah,
so
they were
trying to
safe,
throw from the spot where they thought that they could land and the other person couldn't.
So now what are the judges going to look? Are they going to look at control or are they going to look at aggression? Because when you look at control...
I would like to see the numbers.
I had control of center, but aggression, I feel like Calvillo won.
And I would agree 100% on that. So I would like to see the punch numbers on that one simply for that exact fact.
They'll show it if this fight, well, even if the fight ends here, they'll show it. We're in round 2, so.
I mean, as far as size go, I'm not really seeing a huge size advantage. I think that Eye's a little bit taller.
Eye looks like she might be a little bit bigger. She looks like she's a little faster, too.
She looks like she's a little taller. I mean, which is weird, though. In the first round, though, I thought Calvillo looked faster.
I don't know. This is weird. I mean, Calvillo, we would expect her to be fresher. She probably had a better weight cut.
She made weight.
She made weight. So I mean, we don't know that she had a better weight cut, but she made weight.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I definitely struggled with her weight cut and tried, apparently. So that could come into play here.
Well, I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
That's what they say.
So
that's what they say.
If you have to hold on to that.
So if you get poked in the eye by John Jones, don't complain about it.
Yeah. It's all part of the game, right?
Hey,
you know, going into John Jones, you got to protect those eyes, right?
Bruh.
We all know that.
I think every fighter knows they're getting poked in the eye when they fight John Jones.
Is that
Calvillo's got that?
Calvillo got the takedown. We knew the wrestling was going to play a factor, though.
This is where I thought Calvillo was going to be dominant, is if she could get these takedowns.
That was my factor there.
I thought maybe she would win by submission, but I just feel I don't know, dude.
I don't think that she can submit her.
I don't know. That's the thing. I think Eye's too strong.
I think she's just too smart. I don't think that Ai's too technical with her submission game, but she's been in all of these things hundreds of times. Like this right here, half guard against the cage. I'm sure she's been there over and over.
Calvillo was only 8-1 coming into this fight.
Yeah.
I think she's only 8-1.
She's still young in her career.
Yeah, she's still young. She's up and coming. Jessica Ai was, 12-4? I think
like
12-4. I think she
had
number
4
one
losses. Contender who just lost to Shevchenko not too long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
She got embarrassed by Shevchenko, but let's be honest, like not other people.
Who doesn't get embarrassed by Shevchenko's going to embarrass us?
And that's what I'm saying, right? Like
that girl is world class.
Shevchenko's like a monster. I getting embarrassed by her is not the worst thing in the world because I's able to beat most of those people.
Oh, she's got her back,
she's got
kind
the back
of.
take, but she just seems so much weaker right near.
That's what
right
I'm saying.
now.
That's why I said I's stronger. I told you I's going to have that strength advantage.
But I like that seatbelt ride right there. See how she's got her foot under that knee?
Yeah, but I's getting underneath that arm. Look at that.
The arm is going to allow her to turn and face.
She's getting that,
then
and she's going to
squared.
Okay, come on.
But
she fought it off real well.
No, we're at wrist control. We're hand fighting right now. This is a hand fighting game right now. So all the battle, regardless of everything else going on right now, all the battle.
Calvillo's keeping that leg in there, so that's good.
Yeah, but that leg's not doing much.
Oh, here we go.
The battle's a hand fighting.
Now she's got her back
because now all I has to do is shake like she's doing. As long as she keeps hand control.
To drop her up, but the cage is going to hold her up. Look at that. They're right against the cage.
Even with the cage, as long as she keeps that hand control. See how she's got that hand control?
Yeah, she does have the hand.
Calvillo's right arm. She needs to keep that. If I loses that, she's going to lose the position. But if she gets that, she can fit. Oh, no.
She just got that leg in deeper.
That's because I dropped the knee. I dropped her right knee. Why did she drop her right knee?
I don't know, but that leg, dude, she gave that to her. Because Calvillo's got her back good right now. They're still wrist fighting, but I mean, Calvillo's definitely got dominant position.
The hand fighting's going to be the most important thing here. This is where you see people cheat, though. In these spots where they can start digging a finger in the glove. Right? This is what if I'm I right now and I'm in a position where the ref's over here on my right side, I'm seeking my fingers in that glove. Oh, he switches over to that left side.
You're going to see all sorts of crazy stuff happening under here that the ref can't see.
Oh, guaranteed.
I mean, that goes on in every fight.
She's got his finger in her. Ai's got her fingers in the glove. I guarantee you. Look at the way that Calvillo was trying to pull that out.
Yeah.
She can't let go of it.
You see it all the time when fighters are complaining that they're sticking their hands in their gloves.
Yeah. That's not grabbing a hand. It's hard.
Grabbing the gloves is illegal for those that don't know. It is illegal to grab the gloves.
To put your fingers inside of them. You can grab the glove if you're grabbing.
Well, yeah, on the outside you can grab them like this, but you cannot grab inside the glove and actually grab the glove itself.
100%. I was doing that. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you. Just by looking at that, it looked to me like.
But I mean, Calvillo's got this. Dude, she's maintaining control. This is definitely
why I chose the decision for Calvillo.
100% round 2 so far is Calvillo. This is.
Ooh, I should have considered being a 5-round fight. I don't know. If
submission? You think she's going to submit her?
I don't know with the failed weight cut if I can manage 25 minutes.
She can go 20. Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
That might have been an error on my
but I do think it's still going to a decision. I don't think that Calvillo's going to finish her.
I just don't know how long.
Because look, I's turning into it. Here we go. She's got her in the guard.
Yeah,
round's over.
That's the second round, right? So
second round. So we're coming up on third round now.
I just don't know how long you can fight someone off your back.
Dude, that's draining on both of them.
I'm telling you,
that's draining on both of them though.
I feel like I'm a pretty good wrestler, and when I'm going against someone and they're riding my back and I'm doing MMA, I'm doing jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, it's difficult because I'm worried about the legs, I'm worried about the hands, I'm worried about the hips. There's so much going on there, and I just don't know. I just don't know where you would realistically want to look at it and say, hey, this is the best spot for me to fight right here.
Calvillo definitely knows it's the best spot for her now.
Well, she knows that she's on top.
She's going to take that thing down again. I guarantee.
She is, but if I'm the person on bottom, what am I going to do?
Yeah, if you're I, dude, you're looking to keep that standing because I's best chances is striking right here.
Absolutely.
Clearly, Calvillo has the ground advantage.
Yeah, but my whole point is my decision should have probably been impacted on the fact that it was a 5-round fight instead of just being a 3-round fight.
I mean, I can see that, yeah.
So what is your opinion? So Chael Sonnen's come out multiple times over the years since probably his first ever title fight, and I'm saying first ever going back to WEC. He's been saying that.
Was that his first? Didn't he have a title fight in Bodog?
Well, yeah. But I'm saying specifically, he addressed the issue in WEC where he first started saying that 25 minutes was too long.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's too long, man. I mean, in MMA, it's a little different because they go 5 rounds instead of 3 rounds, 5 minutes instead of 3 minutes, like in boxing. Minutes. So boxing, they do typically, you'll see main events be 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds with 1 minute intervals. So they get a lot more rest too. They do fight longer overall if the fight goes to decision, but they do get more rest between.
My first cage fight was on Chael Sonnen's promotion, FCFF. Right? Not my first MMA fight, my first cage fight. It was on FCFF, and we had 3-minute rounds. And then the main event was 3 5-minute rounds, or was 5 3-minute rounds. I feel like that's since changed.
Yeah. After our last podcast, Mom sent me the videos of Skyler versus that guy when we talked about him.
Oh, I got those videos.
Yeah, did she send? I know Mom sent.
No, I got them though. But...
Mom sent them to me again though. She sent them to me in a Facebook Messenger. So she sent me the video of I think not your first fight because she didn't see that one. But she sent me 2 videos. One was Skyler's fight versus that dude that we talked about, and then the other one I will tell you here in just a moment.
There's a lot of them on YouTube.
What was the other one Mom sent me?
I don't know.
Your Salem Armory fight against Jordan Sutton when you won the title.
Whoa, wait. Not when I won it. When I lost.
Or no, not when you won the title. When you
when I lost.
When you fought the dude at 155 pounds that came in after you had 2 cancellations.
I love. Dang it, dude! If she had the one where I won the belt, that's the one I'm looking for.
I can find that. I'll find that for you because I recorded that fight.
I think that I have the tape here. The problem that I have with the tape is I think that oil was spilled on it.
Ooh, that sucks. Because I'm pretty sure I recorded, but it's online. I'm pretty sure I posted that shit online.
No, it used to be online. I know that Ray Armstrong
is.
So but the problem is mixed martial arts changed, right? So they used to be subfighter.com. So this is how long we go back. So subfighter.com used to be mixedmartialarts.com.
Mm-hmm.
When it was subfighter.com, when I won my belt, the trainer was Ray Armstrong. Ray Armstrong was a member of subfighter.com, and he uploaded that fight on there where I won it. Because if you remember, the night that I won that belt was the same night that he had his first amateur fight.
This is the one where you lost the title.
Well, I didn't lose the title. That was pro.
Was it? Oh, this. Yeah, Jake Thomas versus Jordan Sutton. This is the pro debut.
Yeah, that was a pro debut. Jordan's a good guy though. I like him.
And then Jake Thomas, EWC 9.
Skyler and I went over. No, that was versus Jordan. That was 3.
That was 3 too.
Yeah,
I'll find this stuff, man. I don't care.
It's
Jordan's
not
5-0 on mixed. What the fuck?
No, he's not.
Oh, 4 and 5. Never mind. I see.
Ooh! I landed a good right hand right there.
Let's see here.
Look, Calvillo takes her down again. She goes for a head and arm.
Yeah, dude, there's not a lot even popping up on the videos.
Yeah, it's not on there anymore.
Looks like a lot of it got wiped.
Well, once they deleted Subfighter and they switched to mixedmartialarts.com.
Yeah.
And they switched to the UG from Subfighter.
Yeah.
It was gone. Yeah, I've been looking for that fight for years.
I mean, I'm the one that recorded it. I just don't know where the camera is that I recorded it on or where the tape is. If you got them both.
The tape is here, but the tape has been messed up.
Okay.
The tape has spilled oil on it, but I'm pretty sure the tape is here.
How the fuck did you get oil spilled on it?
I fucking have no clue, dude.
I have no clue either.
But I don't want to get into that. But you know what else I have? I have a video of me, a VHS that I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that I didn't even...
VHS?
Yes, I don't even know...
Damn.
No, I don't even know where it came from.
Dude, even when I was in high school, we were using High 8.
Okay, but here's the crazy thing about it. This is my 04-05 wrestling season.
That would have been, dude, after I graduated, because I graduated 05.
This would have been your senior year at Mountain View. We were
both at 04-05 was my senior year.
Yes, 04-05. That was the 04-05 season.
That's you were probably a sophomore then.
Yeah.
At Heritage.
I have a VHS for that. I've never ever seen that.
I think I recorded one of those.
Dude, I don't know where the fuck it came from.
I'm pretty sure I recorded that because our first camcorder was a VHS.
I had a box that had some of those little mini things in it. And then a VHS.
3.0?
Huh?
Do you have Calvillo up 3-0? Or possibly,
What the fuck are you saying to me?
do you have Calvillo up 3-0?
Oh, for this fight? I thought we were talking. I was trying to relate that to film. I was like, what does that mean?
What does that even mean?
I was like...
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, no, I was thinking fight, or I was thinking video, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But yes,
You know
up to
that
this
reminds
point...
me of? What is that? What is that? Fucking ball so hard, motherfuckers. No one even knows what that means. Everyone knows what that means. No, they don't. What the fuck was that movie? Blades of Glory, I think.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Blades of Glory. Will Smith.
That was...
Or not Will Smith. Will Ferrell. What the fuck I'm talking about.
That was one of the... First of all, Skylar loves that movie. That's one of Skylar's favorite movies.
Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
Dude, I love every
That
Will
is
Ferrell.
a...
So for those who don't know, I am a huge Will Ferrell fan. I love everything he does.
I took Skylar and a couple other people to see what's the basketball one that he did.
Semi-pro?
Semi-pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Dude, I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan.
No. We got an early premiere of that. I took Skylar and a couple of other guys to go see that. We had an early premiere before it was ever released in theaters. Mm-hmm. It was the funniest thing ever.
Dude, it's so great.
And then one of my favorite parts is still, you ever been punched in the jejunum?
Yeah, the jejunum. Dude, Calvillo's got it down again.
I just want to punch somebody in the jejunum.
It's round 4 and Calvillo's got her down again. Calvillo's dominated in this fight from everything that I've seen so far. Outside the first round where it was pretty even, round 2, 3, and 4 have all been Calvillo.
She's controlling the fight, that's for sure. She's definitely controlling it. It's not to a point where you could say it's complete domination yet. Like, it's not anything that I would say is a 10-8 round.
I wouldn't.
And if I want to call domination...
I wouldn't say 10-8, but I mean, she's not been threatened by I at all. She's been threatening I the whole time.
Well, so that's my problem with the judging of the rounds, right? So when I think domination, automatically the first word comes, or the first.
And to be honest, if this keeps up, this is a 10-8 round.
It's not a 10-8 because there's not enough damage.
You don't have to do just damage. It's only you have to dominate the opponent.
No.
Based on the 10-8, though.
If I'm gonna do 10-8, I better be to a point where it's very, very close to being finished.
I feel like you just got to convincingly win the round, like, and dominate the whole round. If she stays in, like, if she dominates her the whole 5 minutes, even if she's not doing damage, that's a 10-8, man.
But if I ride your back and all I do is ride your back, and
but she's still striking and she's still threatening with submissions. She's not just riding her back.
But how many of her submissions have been successful?
That's not to say that it's not a 10-8, though.
But how?
Because if it's successful, she's going to finish the fight at that point.
And that's my point. So how can you say it's complete domination if I'm the person on bottom, and regardless of whether
because you're the person on bottom, you're not scoring, you're not doing anything.
Stopping. I'm stopping your attack.
But it would be being dominated.
But no. It would be the same as if you threw a punch and I blocked a punch. You throw a submission, I block a submission, I stop your submission.
That.
Do you know how hard it is to stop a submission?
Grappling versus striking is so different.
Do you know when that's the problem?
Yeah. That is the problem.
Do you know how hard it is when you are wrestling against or grappling against someone who is very good to stop their submission?
It's a lot harder than blocking a strike. That's for fucking sure.
Exactly. Now, if I can go a full 5 minutes without getting submitted on the bottom,
yeah. But if you're
versus someone who's a
beat
savage
the whole time,
I might be getting beat, but I'm doing a pretty good job of stopping what they're doing. So that makes it a 10-9.
But you trying to get scored for defending?
But that makes I'm not trying to get scored for defending. I'm just hoping you don't get extra rewarded for attacking when I'm stopping.
I don't know if you're not doing anything, man.
So I'm not saying that. Hey, just because you're. I could attack for a submission after submission after submission and get nothing and transition to 30 different submissions and never be close to attacking to a submission. But if you're going to say it's all entirely based on the fact that I'm attacking for a submission, all I'm going to do is attack.
If you're riding that person's back for 5 straight minutes.
But if I transition to 6 different submissions that I don't finish any of them?
Yeah, but that just shows aggression.
But that also shows that I'm doing a pretty good job on bottom because in order, what's important?
How good are you doing if the person still has your back? Though?
A pretty fucking good job. Because,
that's crazy.
Because you know what's important when someone's got your back. What's the most important thing? Position, technique.
Position's always important.
Position and technique is going to be your most important thing. So if someone's got your back and they're attacking for submissions, and I can stop your submissions.
Basically, all you got to do is control the wrist if someone's got your back. I mean, at that point.
But that's hard.
It is hard.
Because you're also fighting feet. You're also fighting hips. You're also fighting a transition of weight from the left to the right to the twist of the body, right?
Yeah. So if someone's got your back, how many submissions are they going to throw from that position? You're looking at what, maybe rear naked if you're fucking Chan Sung Jun or fucking who did we talk about earlier? You're maybe looking at the twister.
Korean Zombie.
Not very many people are going to throw a twister. So
well, you're looking at several submissions from the back.
There's a few. But I mean, as long as you control that other person's wrist.
There's several, and the other thing about it is it's the dominance of the position. Right, yeah. A full mount is better than having a half guard.
But if you have someone in full mount for an entire 5 minutes and you don't finish the fight from there, is it a 10-8?
I don't know, but if you have them, if you have their back and you can't finish it from their back, is it a 10-8?
Exactly.
Goes back to my original point.
So I would say, to me, yes, because at that point,
so now it changes to yes, but you just had the counter argument.
No.
That's
what I threw it out. That's why I threw it out, because for me, 10-8.
I'm still going 10-9.
For me, 10-8 because of the dominance. This one was a 10-9 because there was still 2 minutes left in the round. She was able to get up.
But what's the other scoring?
So she didn't do the whole 5 minutes.
What's the other scoring criteria?
So for MMA scoring criteria,
the one that you're excluding right there when you talk about dominance. What is the one that
intelligent defense is the only thing. Damage is one.
There's no damage being done. Criteria. Just damage is a significant.
Yeah, but if you're grappling, how much damage is really being done? Unless grappling, there's no damage.
That's my point as to why it's not a 10-8 versus a 10-9.
Okay, but so you're saying that wrestling's not as important as fucking strikes?
No, I'm saying that taking the damage factor and having a heavier weight to it nullifies that and equalizes it.
I don't feel like it does, because if you're getting dominated by a wrestler, everyone knows what domination looks like.
So, yeah.
If you're getting dominated, even if it's by a wrestler, if you're getting dominated, if he's clearly passing your guard, he's got you held down the whole time, he's doing everything, he's switching up, he's attempting submission, might not be finishing them, but he's dominating you on the ground and keeping you there. Maybe he's not throwing strikes, but maybe he's transitioning to different submissions, maybe different positions, he's still dominating you.
Okay, but then you have to think about the fact that you have to combine them both.
If you're on defense the whole time, you're being dominated.
No. So here's what I'm going to say about that. You could be stopping the attack from coming, right? You can be the aggressor in the attack. You're going to need dominance and damage to get the 10-8. Okay? I don't care how long you rode the back. If you're not getting the damage...
But 10-8s don't require damage. They only require dominance.
Well, it depends on the judges.
And then that is going to come down to opinion. But based off the text of the written rules, it only requires dominance. No. It doesn't require damage to be a factor.
So you're telling me
dominance only requires.
You're telling me for a 10-8 factor that the only thing is dominance.
Dominance. It purely comes down to dominance for a 10-8 round.
I would 100% disagree.
You can disagree, but it's written.
I don't think it is.
It is written.
I don't think it is.
I promise.
And we're gonna have
when
to
it comes to 10-8 rounds, it is written that dominance.
Let's look.
When it comes
now,
down to
I'm not going to deny that dominance is a part of it.
But dominance is going to be based on the individual, on how that judge scores.
No,
dominance.
I'm not going to deny that dominance is going to be a part of it, but I'm going to say that dominance is not going to be the sole objective in it. You're going to have to look at dominance and damage. Okay, I don't care.
But damage is part of dominance.
Is it?
It is part of dominance.
What about that last round?
But that's the thing. Dominance doesn't solely require damage.
That's why I'm saying.
Because you could damage an opponent and not be dominant. But you can dominate an opponent without damage.
But that also goes back to the whole thing that we were talking about earlier in the fight where you can land one punch and change the impact of a round.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what damaging isn't important than dominance.
That's because the damage factor is actually more important than the dominance factor. Because
but not
you
when
can
it comes to dominance.
You can dominate a fight for 4 minutes and 58 seconds and get knocked out with 2 seconds in a round.
You can.
And your dominance absolutely doesn't matter.
You could have a 10-8 round where you're dominating.
The damage factor is the one thing that made the most importance in that round because you knocked him out cold.
But that's MMA, period. That's crazy. But that's
what I'm talking about. You're putting a
But it doesn't change that you were dominated for that whole time, and it was still a 10-8 round before the knockout occurred.
But is it?
It was still a 10-8 round.
Is it really a 10-8 round if
all
you do if you don't apply damage?
If that round doesn't get finished, it's a 10-8 round.
Do you apply damage into that?
Not if that knockout doesn't happen.
So if the damage goes away, is it still a 10-8 round?
It's still a 10. If you're getting
I disagree with that.
It's a 10-8 round.
I disagree with that. And the whole reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to Skyler's fight that we talked about last week. Rode the guys back for 3 whole rounds. You know, he beat the hell out of the guy. He was dominant, and he had the most damage, but it wasn't significantly damaged enough to award a 10-8 round. So Skyler didn't win a single 10-8 round, even though he rode the guys back for about 15 minutes.
That wasn't under the new system, by the way.
15 minutes.
By the way, we should be talking about that these are under the new ABC rules.
Under what new ABC rules?
The rules that the UFC has adopted based off California.
Past when?
2016, I think. 2017, maybe? I'll show you. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
Okay, so what about the half-point system that was implemented after that?
They tried that, and the UFC, nobody's adopted
that.
The
UFC never tried that.
Not the UFC. Oregon. No, California tried a half-point.
The half-point system is the best
But nobody else has adopted it.
The half-point system, Washington, actually started with Dennis Hallman.
But did they adopt it universally in Washington?
No,
or
because
only Dennis Hallman's promotion.
That's my whole point right there.
That's the thing, though. If it's not universal, where the commission, because the commission in Washington is all that matters. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. If it's an unsanctioned fight,
the commission for the state that you are competing in is all that matters.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I meant. The commission's all that matters.
Yes.
So Dennis Hallman's promotion necessarily might not matter, but the commission in Washington is what makes the ultimate decision.
Yes.
That's the rules that we're following as the commission.
Unless
the state. So I'll tell you which rules. Hold on.
So, in my opinion, this is where I'm at with my opinion. I don't think, and this is me coming as a wrestler because, actually, this is my opinion as someone who has both boxed and wrestled and competed in mixed martial arts. So, I've done all 3 of the sports. I've wrestled, I've boxed, I've done mixed martial arts. You know, this is my opinion as that. I don't think that the wrestling and just controlling someone's back does enough to win you a 10-8 round. I think the damage factor has to be definitely taken into consideration. Well, we're getting ready to go into the official decision. We'll see what happens here. I's acting like she won. Calvillo's acting like she won.
Well, Calvillo won, for sure, in my opinion.
This looks like another Calvillo decision.
It looks like a Calvillo decision. I think we both got it perfect on this one, let's be honest, because outside of the first round, even in the 5th round here, I did not do enough to win a single round, in my opinion. There was not the damage factor that you keep pointing to.
Yep, I would say that.
She lost the ground in every aspect in every round,
yes,
except for the first round because they didn't go to the ground.
They didn't really do much there. I would agree with that.
She wasn't controlling anything anywhere. I mean, where would I have won? But the judges might have seen some distance. It's so funny hearing you say, where would I have won? Because I'm thinking of you as like, where would I have won? But I know you're saying, where would I have won? To be honest, I was thinking that earlier when you kept saying I'm like, dude, you're just talking about yourself again. Shut the fuck up.
So we need to change it to Jessica. Let's change it to Jessica whenever she fights now.
Yeah, we could probably
we'll just call it Evil Eye.
But who does
Let's just call it Evil Eye.
I got some evil eyes.
Wait. Hey, remember our topic earlier about good nicknames? Evil Eye,
bro. This is play on words, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are the nicknames you need.
All right, here we go. Here's the decision. Hold on.
All right, we're back to the decision.
49-46, 49-46. That's Cynthia Calvillo. She knows. Yeah.
Gosh, damn right.
She was judged.
Gosh,
so it looks like the judges might have given Jessica I round 1. If there's a round that they gave her, it was round. If there was a round they gave her, I think it was round 1. We've been drinking EGA IPA from Grains of Wrath Brewery,
located in Camas, Washington, 3 miles from my house.
And you're watching Crushing Cans podcast with Cullen
and Jake Thomas.